sculpted lines, impressive hardware, aggressive stance. It can only mean one thing. 'Tis the season to get out and tailgate. Right now at every Bob Johnson, buy any new or used truck, we'll throw in a Mafia-ready folding table absolutely free. Bob Johnson, this is where the savings are.
Bob Johnson.
And now, another Rock Sports Network presentation.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Rock Sports Network Golden Eagles Game of the Week, brought to you by Bob Johnson Auto Group. I'm Ryan Laselbroth. With me, my partner Mario Granada. We're here as Brockport set to take on the Alfred University Saxons. Brockport's looking to move to 6-2 on the season and 4-1 in Empire 8 play and set up a huge game next week against Cortland. Mario, it's been kind of playoff football for Brockport for the last few weeks here after they lost their second game of the season to St. John Fisher and removed any margin of error for the rest of the season here. And they've responded 109-17. They've outscored their last two opponents. They're averaging 54 points a game here. And, I mean, this is another game where, by all accounts, if Brockport takes care of the football, does what they do, this should be, a game that they can use to put some things on film for Cortland next week that, Cortland may have to prepare for that they wouldn't have to prepare for if this was a close game.
Yeah, absolutely. No question. I mean, obviously, we've seen the struggles with Alfred University this year and, Brockport coming in with some of their turnovers, costly turnovers that they've had throughout the year, as you mentioned. But, I mean, I was just, aside from figuring out the formula for Coca-Cola, I was trying to figure out the tiebreaker that goes on, as we mentioned at the pregame, between St. John Fisher, Cortland, and Brockport. If all those teams, well, with the exception of Cortland, were to win out. And Ryan, we did some research prior to coming on the air for you guys, and we're gonna go deeper into that.
Felt like we were studying for a book report here pregame. But yeah, it basically comes down to, we'll get into the kind of the tiebreaker scenarios and the why around all of it. But it starts with Brockport winning out. They have to win their last 3 football games they've got today ahead of them. They've got Cortland next week, and then they close things with the Utica Pioneers coming here on November 15th. And Utica is a sneaky name that a lot of folks watching these Brockport games may not think of after the last 9 seasons we've been doing this. Utica is typically not a team we mention in the hunt as things go on, but they also right now are at 3-1 in Empire 8 and 5-2 overall. So they're right there. There's a 3-way tie right now for second place in Empire 8, led by Brockport, St. John Fisher, and then Utica.
Yeah.
So this one, again, this is Brockport trying to get out to another fast start here. They're going to return the football. Remember last week they put up 51 points in the first half in their game last week, and point differential or points scored comes into play in these tiebreaker scenarios. And Brockport, that's why this game, if it gets out of hand, it could get out of hand in a hurry.
Welcome to Empire 8 tiebreaker rules for the football playoff as well.
So back to return, number 5 Daniel Manna, number 2 Isaiah Simmons, and teams have been, actually that's number 22 that's back to return, that's Micah Harry. Teams have been not choosing to kick to this return team, and last time we were here, Daniel Manna took one to the house to open the game. So kick is off, it's to Harry, and he's going to let it go into the end zone for a touchback. So we'll get our first look at Ben Gachella and this Brockport offense led by Isaiah Simmons, who's ranked 10th in the country right now in rushing yards per game. Gachella, top 10 in the nation in completion percentage, top 15 in the nation in passing efficiency, coming off 2 different career highs. 2 weeks ago against Alfred State, 360 yards passing, which was a career high, and last week against Morrisville, 4 touchdowns, which again was a career high. So Gachella looking to keep that momentum rolling here against a susceptible Alfred Saxon defense, who's allowing almost 50 points a game this season.
It was interesting, though, Ryan, we talked about at the onset.
Toss to Simmons off the left side. Big hole here. He's going to cut it across the 30, lowers his shoulder, introduces himself to the safety. That's number 2, Luke Atlas, coming in, the senior from Wilson, New York, local to the Buffalo area.
Ryan, we were talking about Alfred coming into this game having given up 100 and whatever point, about 58 points a game in the last 2 games. Do you think Brockport looks to put stuff on film earlier in the game rather than later in the game?
Yeah, I think they're going to want to show, early with this offense. Here's Simmons again off the left side, and he sneaks forward. It's going to get 5 on that one. So Isaiah Simmons off to a positive start, as one would expect.
Yeah, so there might be some plays mixed in here with the amount of points that Alfred State has given up. Brockport really, anything that they do really will work. Or they could just go straight, with vanilla play calling.
Tim Lewis checks out. Xavier Smith checks in at that H-back role. Xavier Smith, a big H-back, 6'1", 270. He's put on the tape. Gachella, his first throw is a swing pass to Simmons, who just beats the man to the corner, lowers his shoulder again. Number 19 that time. That's Aubin Marcus, who got run over by Isaiah Simmons.
Is that the Xavier Smith, who has returned about 5 or 6 kicks on this field for them?
It's interesting to watch Isaiah Simmons run against these teams. He's 5'9", 180, but you've already seen a couple safeties for Alfred making business decisions when they come up to try to make a tackle against him.
He runs like he's about 210 pounds.
Gachella again. They've got Smith to his front left. Here goes Williams in motion.
They like to hit him.
Takes
in
the
the
snap. They're going to hand the ball again to Simmons. Another hole right up the middle there, running right into the teeth of that Alfred defense. Another 5 yards for Simmons. And, Mario, maybe they won't try to do anything creative here. Maybe they'll just kind of run their base package, which they've done so far, that H-back roll with the pistol formation, and just kind of, we're going to run it until you stop us.
Because as far as the size goes for this Alfred team versus the Cortland team, there's not much of crossover. Yeah. So if you're saying, okay, this is how we got to play it, this is how they're going to block it up. And Brockport they don't really change the philosophy when they come in and play Cortland anyway. So
12:43 left in the first quarter. First possession here for Brockport, already into Saxon territory. Gacella takes the snap. He looks to his right. He throws. He's got Manna. Manna catches it and scampers out of bounds. It's going to be enough for a first down there.
And that was a
not an easy 7-yard pass.
throw,
That's a tough throw. It was opposite hash.
You're opposite hash throwing a 6-yard out. That trust me, that ball goes further than you think it does.
So out comes Ronk, and in comes Smith again. 3 wide set here for Brockport. Got Lockhart and Manna on the lower half of the formation. He's got Williams at the top. Simmons to his left, takes the snap. They're going to give it to Simmons again up the middle. Not a lot of room there, but a little bit of a push gets him a couple yards. So first behind schedule play for Brockport offensively there, with only 2 yards on that one.
Simmons for the short game. Second down and 8.
Yeah, approaching 3 minutes and 20 seconds on this initial drive. They're really just doing a lot of their bread and butter plays that we've seen them run, those inside trap plays. Now they have 4 wide.
First 4 wide set
shotgun.
we've seen today.
You got man on the slot on the bottom of your screen. That's where he's
Gacella
going.
steps
He wants
up.
to go.
That's where he's going. Yeah,
Yep.
Man has got it right at the 20. Nice spinning catch there, and he's going to dive across the 15-yard line to the 14-yard line. So good job there by Gacella, who climbed the pocket on that one.
Well, there's your new look, because they usually have Manna as the single receiver on the opposite side, or they'll put him wide, and then they just put him inside on the slot.
And that's really been the key for this Brockport offense. Since Mangoni has made the concerted effort to get the ball to Daniel Manna in space often, that this offense has really taken off. You saw it there, and he's so good in the slot.
Well, it only took him a couple special teams player of the week honors
only
to
took
get the ball.
a game where he had a punt return, a kick return, and a receiving touchdown, right? Looking pressure off the left side, and they're going to hand it to Simmons right into that blitz, and he's going to bounce it to the outside across the 10, down to the 5, shoved out of bounds at the 4-yard line. That was number 3 on the tackle there. That's Jack Bestpitch.
You know, it's funny, Ryan. We talk about the pass that Gacella had a couple plays ago, how far that was. He ran about 30 yards to gain 6.
Yeah. So Brockport first and goal here at the 4-yard line, and you got to think they're not going to change up much. Manna checks out, so they can bring 2 tight ends in here.
You got number 85 checking into the game.
Tim
as well.
Lewis checks in. He's in that up back roll, and they're going to give it to Simmons off the left side, and he slips and falls down. He tried to double back, it looked like, to get to go to the right side, and that's going to be a loss of 3.
I mean, Alfred was flowing that way very aggressively to try to stop him. If he did put his brakes on him, shifted, he might have been the other.
He could have kept his feet for sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Xavier Smith checks back in as that up back, so they opt out of number 81, who had checked in the game there. That was Isaiah Madry. Second and goal here for Brockport as they are trying to punch their opening possession in. Lewis goes in motion. Under center for Gacella, which is a different look for him. Tossed to the outside to Simmons, and he's going to get the yardage back and more, down to the 2. Interesting that they ran that toss to the short side of the field, Mario, and didn't try to kind of beat him to the corner.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's one of those wrinkles they want to throw at you, because most of the time they will run to the wide side, but throwing it to the short side, now you're sitting there. If you're Cortland, like, oh, which way are they going to go next week?
Yeah.
So it's interesting to see. I wonder what they're going to try to do here. Do you keep the ball in Simmons' hands, or do you try to do a little bit of play
I think you
action,
look at Manna checks back in. This is the first time we've seen Manna in this goal line situation, and he's in the slot one-on-one. And I think you give a look to Simmons, but maybe you try to go to Manna, something in space.
Oh, they like that play right there.
Right there to Simmons. They read it there. Simmons dropped it, and Brockport did recover. So
luckily Smith, I think, fell on it.
So that's going to be a loss of 8 on the play there. And on comes Zach McGowan. McGowan with he's had Empire 8 special teams player of the week here last week. So this is going to be a 26-yard field goal here for McGowan. Windy down on the field, though, but the wind is kind of in his face here, so we'll see. We know McGowan's got a big leg. Ball's down, kicks up. Kick is good. So McGowan knocks it in from 26 yards out, and that makes it 3-0 Brockport. But yeah, Mario, it probably feels like a little bit of a negative outcome there for Brockport with the way they were running.
Well, it might not be. I mean, let's look at the big picture here. If you're in a 3rd and goal situation against Cortland now, and then you're looking at that, and then you motion out like that, what are they expecting you to do? They're expecting you to go to Simmons. What if Gachella now next week, they have the similar situation, he looks to his right and then decides to go backside on a slant.
On a slant, yeah.
Okay, all the flow is going to be going that way because you know Simmons is their playmaker. He ends up hitting a slant backside for a touchdown.
Yeah.
You never know. And that's close enough to be a 2-point play as well.
Sure.
You never know. It probably served for a few more things than that's one of those things, losing the battle to win the war, maybe.
Yeah.
So I'm not against it.
We'll give our shout out here to our first half sponsor, Lattimore Physical Therapy and Sports Rehab. At Lattimore, their physical therapists enjoy the work they do and bring a positive attitude to their patients' therapy experience. They want their patients' therapy to be something they look forward to each and every session. If patients tell their friends and family about their success at Lattimore, they know they've done their job. LattimorePT.com. Today's game brought to you by Bob Johnson Auto Group. Bob Johnson carries 18 different auto manufacturers ranging from Chevy to Ford to Toyota and many more. 25 locations throughout New York State. Choose from thousands of vehicles in stock. Check them out online, BobJohnsonAutoGroup.com, to find a location near you. McGowan set to kick this one away. Big leg for him, but into the wind, so this one's probably going to get a return. It's going to get fielded at the 5-yard line, out across the 15, out across the 20, a little bit of room there. He gets tripped up and finally brought down at about the 30-yard line. They're going to give him the 31, so nice return there for Alfred. And good start there for them. So it's going to be our first look at Chris Kelly, the senior quarterback for Alfred. Two guys to keep an eye on offensively is going to be number 22, Tommy Nyquist, the running back, and number 80, Lucas Freeland. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back on the other side as we got an injured player on the field.
The world's greatest cheeseburger offers Bill Gray's Great Plates, topped any way you want them, for $9.99 every Tuesday and now Sunday. $9.99 Great Plates, Tuesdays and Sundays.
Gimme Bill Gray's. Honey, who's got the best deal on
Bob Johnson?
flower pots? The best deal on flower pots.
Bob Johnson doesn't have deals on flower pots, but we have the very best deals on new cars, trucks, and SUVs. Best inventory, best service, best pricing, best people. Bob Johnson, this is where the savings are.
Bob Johnson.
Bob Johnson.
Bill Gray's, home of the world's greatest cheeseburger, also has Rochester's best Icelandic long-line cod haddock fish fry. Cooked to perfection. Delicious haddock fish fries and sandwiches served on a fresh-baked Apollo roll. Every day of the week, open till close. Get one today. Gimme Bill Gray's haddock fish fry. Bill Gray's, home of the world's greatest cheeseburger, offers Bill Gray's Great Plates, topped any way you want them, for $9.99 every Tuesday and now Sunday. $9.99 Great Plates, Tuesdays and Sundays.
Gimme Bill Gray's. Honey, who's got the best deal on
Bob Johnson.
flower pots? The best deal on flower pots.
Bob Johnson doesn't have deals on flower pots, but we have the very best deals on new cars, trucks, and SUVs. Best inventory, best.
Here's the injured Saxon player is up and off the field under his own power. They're going to take a look at him. Again, our first look here at this Alfred offense. Chris Kelly in the shotgun formation. Nyquist to his left, sends a man in motion. They're going to hand it to Nyquist, and nothing doing there. Luca Friedman shoots in from his inside linebacker position. Also number 9, Jaden Farrell, in on the tackle.
Yeah, this Brockport defense, top 10 in the nation in tackles for loss, average per game. So it's going to be interesting to see how many of those we end up encountering today. And second, I believe, in total defense, correct?
Yep. Yeah, only allowing less than 200 yards of offense per game is this Brockport defense. That's good for second in the country right now. And Alfred coming in, averaging less than 300 yards per game offensively. So this will be a struggle for Alfred. Nyquist takes the swing pass. He's going to get 4 on the play, out to the 34.5-yard line.
I believe Kelly's our first, the first southpaw we had this year. Hey, am I correct?
Yes, first southpaw quarterback we've seen. Yeah.
5, 3rd down.
Does that affect the Brockport's defense at all, you think?
I think Coach Fox loves it. He gets to try different things, bringing pressure off at different sides of the football. So
like a kid in a candy store.
Yeah.
So we got Twins
So
open. To
third and 4 here. Or sorry, 3rd and 6 for Alfred. Pressure coming off that left side of the formation. They're going to try to throw it, and they're going to swing out there. No shot on that one. That was read all the way. They initially tried to bring Nazir Wilson on pressure, and he read it the whole way that they were going to the outside. He broke off, and that play was dead in the water.
And that's one of those plays where you see on Sunday where there's a flag thrown because there's offensive pass interference. He was already blocking before the ball was in the air. But he literally just blew up the entire play as fast as he read it. And then
so Brockport defense holds 3 and out on the first possession. Daniel Manna back to return this punt. He's pacing at his own 27-yard line where he'll set up here. We'll get the first look at the punt unit. Colin McGovern is the punter for Alfred. Almost got that one blocked. Low kick. It takes a Saxon bounce out across the 30, across the 25. The wind helping that one a little bit. Down to the 20, and that's where that's going to get down. So no shot at a return there for Manna. Almost got blocked. Next look at this Brockport defense here, or offense here. Out comes Gachella, Simmons, Manna, in that offense.
Manna in that slot once again. Alfred State looking like they're in a bit of a cover one. Or
interesting, not only one safety over the top. We'll see if they back out of that.
Yeah, he's at the near hash too,
snap.
so you might have Williams at the bottom of your screen. He might take a shot.
Williams down on the lower half of the formation, one-on-one. They're going to hand it to Simmons, and he lowers his shoulder, and he's going to get 2 on the play. So 2-yard gain there by Isaiah Simmons. Out comes Ronk, in comes Lewis. So more back to more of their traditional formation here with a tight end.
Yeah, if that safety, if best pitch happens to cheat toward the middle of the field, which he won't now because they're in a cover 2, but he could leave Marcus out on an island, number 19 at the bottom of your screen.
Simmons to the left of Gachella. They're going to throw right across the middle to Lewis, right away into double coverage, and they're going to call that incomplete. So that one was broken up by Jack Bestpitch. So now it's 3rd and 8 here for Brockport.
Yeah, Ryan, we see it all the time. You know, when you're a quarterback, you're coming up to the line. You see 2 safeties. Those are obvious run plays. You know, you want to try to check to a run, try to see if you can get something in there. Once you see that single high,
that's where you want to go.
That's where you want to start throwing.
4 wide again here for Brockport. Manna and Ronk to the upper half of the formation here, and it's going to be Nathan Williams and Luke Lockhart to the lower half of the formation. Simmons to the right of Gachella. Gachella's going to look to throw. He looks to his left. He throws. He's got Williams. It's too far to the outside, incomplete. So that's 3 and out for Brockport, and we'll get our first look at the punt group here for Brockport. Connor Parker is going to come on to punt. He's averaging 40 yards per punt. Only punted once last week for 45 yards.
Not a busy man, but an effective
Not a busy man last week, that's for sure.
So 2 drives, Ryan. We're talking here in the first 9.5 minutes of this ball game. Obviously, did they expect to score every single time they touch the ball? Or, I mean, what do we?
I think you would want to expect to score if you're Mangoni, for sure. Parker does a good job of getting that one away. Nice punt. Fair catch called for and made at the 36-yard line.
Yeah.
Number 7 with the fair catch on that one for Alfred.
First down, Alfred.
Yeah, not many incomplete passes by Gachella over the last couple of weeks, but we just saw 2 in a row there. I mean, Ryan, I'm gonna put the shoe on the other foot this time. You were a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
You start thinking about that when you get to the sideline, when you're sitting there. You go, all right, I just had 2 incomplete in a row. One essentially got dropped. It was a tough catch. And one I just threw wide. Are you talking to yourself on the bench right now?
Yeah, I think you want that, especially that one to Williams back.
Yeah.
You want that one back because he was open on that. It's a tough throw, but it's one you've made in the past. Nyquist takes the handoff up the middle, and he's stymied. Only 2 yards on that one for Nyquist. So on first down, Alfred picks up 2. Going to bring up 2nd and 8 here.
And you look across that Alfred offensive line, 2 300-pounders, 2 are 270, 1 is 370. So they definitely have the size to deal with this Brockport defensive front, but do they have the speed? That's going to be the biggest question for today.
Brockport defense starts showing a lot of different looks at Kelly. He's
got single high coverage on the first.
Here comes Friedman off the left side of the formation here. And they're going to just swing it quick to Nyquist, wrapped up and brought down right away. Number 35 on the tackle there. That's Austin Golnitz, who's slid himself into the starting rotation here for Brockport.
I like a little bit what Brockport's doing now. They're playing a little bit more of man under 2 deep.
Yeah.
With the safeties
I think
playing
they're Darren Kelly to throw the football.
Yeah. But they're leaving their corners on islands, which is
Nazir Wilson comes out. Jameer Clark checks in.
I mean, you got Grooms and Sluka. You could do that.
Yeah. So Brockport, 3rd and 8 here, trying to force a 3 and out for the second time here. Brockport, 2nd and Empire 8.
You got Hogue versus Sluka at the bottom of your screen. That's huge, but it's to his right. That's the only problem.
We got a whistle here. Delay a game. So that's going to be 5-yard penalty. Bring up 3rd and 13. So Brockport coming into today 20th in Division III in third downs allowed. They're only allowing 29.3% conversion rate. They're already 0 for 1 is Alfred, looking to make it 0 for 2. They're best in the Empire 8 in that mark. And only 2 rushing yards so far allowed, 5th in Division III for that metric for this Brockport defense. Kelly takes the shotgun snap. They're going to bring 3 on pressure. He's going to throw to the outside, almost intercepted. That was Golnitz again, and Golnitz does a good job of just knocking that one down. And 3rd and 3 and out again here for Alfred. So Brockport improves on that 29.3% number. And Brockport's going to try to get something going offensively here. 2 drives, only 3 points so far for a team averaging 54 over their last 2 games.
Man, he got out there like he was shot out of a cannon. Heck of a play by Golnitz there. I mean, could have easily been a pick 6.
Yeah, absolutely. Manna standing at his own 28-yard line this time. McGovern again to punt it. He
bobbled it last time.
Yeah, line drive punt here. Whoop. Another one almost blocked. Manna's going to return this one. Caught it at the 25-yard line out across the right side. Whoop. Cuts it back, little stutter step. He's still dancing. Cuts it back to his left, and Manna down the sideline. Across the 40, out across the 50, scampers out of bounds at the 45-yard line. So big return there by Daniel Manna. Fielded at his own 20, so a 34-yard return there for Daniel Manna. And
yeah, I thought they were going to get a block in the back during that mesh that was over that little rugby scrum, but they ended up not throwing a flag.
So first down Brockport, they take over in Alfred territory. Base offense checks into the game here, both Lewis and Smith in, and looks like Guccella might be going under center here. Again, we don't see a lot of under center formations here for Brockport. Again, putting something different on film this week for Cortland. Simmons, the running back. Toss to Simmons, a little counter toss, but we're going to get a false start here. It looked like the right tackle jumped early on that one.
They don't do that.
Yeah. I think they're going to get Julian McGoy. Oh, they actually got Lewis on that one. That was an interesting run, Bar. It was just like a toss counter type of play where he caught the toss and cut it back into the teeth of the defense.
I mean, schematically it doesn't work. It's not very different than when he does that inside handoff and they're running the trap play on the outside. It was just a different look into it.
Right.
So, I mean, but if they run Guccella on a naked bootleg, I'm out of here. I'm just telling you. I'm like, they're really putting everything on tape for Cortland.
Back to their standard formation here. Mana checks into the game. He's in the slot at the top half of the formation. They're going to hand it to Simmons on 1st and 15. Simmons across the 50, powers his way across the 45, so he gets the penalty yards back +2. It's going to bring up 2nd and 8 here for Brockport. 7-yard carry. Lewis checks out. Ronk checks in. So 4 wide set here for Brockport. Mana and Ronk to the top of the formation. Williams and Lockhart to the lower half. Simmons in the backfield again with Gacella. Still 2:35 left here in this first quarter. Gacella takes the snap, looks left. He's going to throw left, and
Williams kind of
slipped coming out of his break.
But that's kind of the
Incomplete pass
matchup that
there.
you want. You got Williams around 6'2", 180, going against Alexander, who's 5'8", 150. You know, that's one of those matchups you want to try to exploit with the length of Williams, and that's what Gacella was trying to do there.
Brings up 3rd and 8 here for Brockport. 2:29 left in this first quarter. Brockport up 3-0 after a Zach McGowan 27-yard field goal. 4 wide set, 3 to the bottom, and
You got him in
1 to the
2.
top. Ronk, the lone man, to the top of the formation. Alfred shows pressure. They're going to run right into it, and Simmons takes a shot out at the 40-yard line. That's a play you run if you're going for it on 4th down. If you know you're going for it, that's the play you run.
Yeah.
So he's going to get 4 on that one. Brings up 4th and 4.
And you got to let the OC know,
Yep.
so he knows what to call. I mean, how many times have we
helps when the
watched?
head coach is the OC, right?
No, but what I'm saying is, it's. I mean, how many games have we seen where they go, it's a 3rd down play, and then the clock's ticking, they call a timeout. Like,
Yep.
You didn't know you were trying to go
Right.
prior to this. But yeah,
Back to the 4 wide set here. 2 to the top, 2 to the bottom. Simmons to the left of Gacella. 1:45 left in the first quarter. Gacella looks to throw, looks left, scrambles to his right. He's wrapped up and brought down. Number 92 on the sack on that one. That's Martin Flanders. And that snuffs out another Brockport possession, and that was 4th down. So turnover on downs there for Brockport. Gacella felt the pressure, but just couldn't get away from it. And not often do you see a free rusher coming against this Brockport offensive line.
no. What Alfred decided to do is they decided to drop a lineman that was initially on, had his hand in the dirt, dropped him out, kind of confused Gacella, and then they brought another extra rusher instead. So, and they actually dropped 2 more guys in the coverage, so that was a little tough for Gacella to see anybody open. He had 3 on 5, and it was tough to find a wide receiver.
So Kelly takes the snap, pitches quick to Nyquist. He's going to try to get to the edge, and he's met right away. Number 7, Nazir Wilson, coming from his linebacker position, takes down Nyquist after a 1-yard gain on the play. So Nyquist is averaging a robust 3 yards or 1 yard per carry today on 3 carries, 3 yards. Clock continues to run inside of a minute by the time this next one's snapped. Brockport again, formation that daring Kelly to throw the football. They're not going to let them run. Comes pressure. Got an offensive lineman to jump here. Brockport's pointing at the right guard, number 71. We'll see what the call is. That'll be Carter Frank if it's him. We got number 75, the center, Sean Blakely, on that one.
As we have the last minute of this first quarter. I tell you what, Carmine Hogue, 6'2", 195 out of Salamanca. He's got 7 touchdowns for Alfred's this year. At the bottom of your screen, I don't know how long they could wait before they even target him.
Yeah.
He's one of your leading receivers. I know Sluka's on him, but at some point you got to get your star receiver into the game.
Kelly in the shotgun formation, fakes the handoff.
There you go.
Jailbreak and caught by the aforementioned Carmine Hogue. So first catch for him goes for 6. 3rd and 6.
And the fact that he did that right before the quarter's out, you start to think yourself as a receiver, hey, I haven't caught a pass on a quarter. I haven't even been targeted.
Yeah.
You start to get in your own head.
Clock continues to run. Alfred setting up like they're going to run a play. They don't have to run a play here.
It's 3rd and 6.
3rd and 6, and you got to think they probably don't run a play here. And they're not going to run one. End of the quarter here, so that's the end of the first quarter. As Brockport leads 3-0 here, our first half sponsor, Lattimore Physical Therapy and Sports Rehab. Lattimore Physical Therapy's networks of clinics currently offer 30 locations throughout the area, including Spencerport, North Chilide, Greece, and right here in Brockport in the Wegmans Plaza. They provide access to more than 90 certified physical therapists who have experience treating most conditions and sports injuries, and in most cases are able to schedule their patient's first appointment within 1 week. They offer initial consultations within 24 hours for your convenience. LattimorePT.com. So, Mario, 3-0 after the first quarter for a team that put up 51 in the first half last week. You got to think if you're Coach Mangoni, you're a little bit disappointed in the first half or first quarter. You know, offensively, what do you try to? Are you trying to make any adjustments, or are you just looking at execution at this point?
I think it's mainly execution. There were a couple of holes there that didn't pop open that usually pop open for Simmons. There was a couple of plays where Gachella stayed on his first read a little bit too long. And that's fine. It happens during the game. You know, that's why you sit on the sideline, make your adjustments, and go back in and try to put some points on the board. But we got Alfred now at midfield, 3rd and 6. You know, they're on their way.
Big third down here for Alfred. They are showing pressure. It's Wilson. Looks like he's coming off the left side of the formation. They're going to take the snap and fake the handoff. They're going to throw deep. He's got a man down there, and diving attempt, and that's incomplete. Good job there in coverage, Austin Golnitz. Again, Mario, Golnitz kind of has worked his way into the starting rotation here, and now he's, going stride for stride with a wide receiver going down the field.
Oh, absolutely.
6'4", 200 pounds. That's a tall task for a linebacker at 6 foot 190. So good job there by Golnitz. Again, Alfred 0 for 3 on 3rd down so far today. Brockport looking to improve their statistics there. A reminder, they're 20th in Division III in terms of 3rd down conversion. We got a flag down on this one. We'll see what the call is. I'm not sure if Brockport lined up off sides potentially, but that one's going to bounce at the 18-yard line. That's where it's going to get downed.
Well, this is going to be interesting, too, if it was on Brockport.
Yeah, because if it's on Brockport, it brings up 4th and 1 in Brockport territory.
Yeah, you're over the 50 for the first time today. So
getting the call here. Illegal formation against Alfred, and if I'm Mangoni, I make him kick it again. Yep, that's what Mangoni was asking. Is it can I tack it onto the end? They said no. He said make him re-kick it then. Oh, they are going to tack it onto the end. All right. So Brockport's going to take over.
Yeah, I'm kicking again.
I'm kicking again. It's into the wind.
I mean, that was their 3rd one. They bobbled the first one. Second one almost got blocked. That one almost got blocked.
Plus, it's into the wind. And you got Mana back return and kicks. So interesting decision to not make him re-kick it there.
Well, yeah. Interesting, but obviously wants Gasella to work for it. If Mana returns it for a touchdown, you don't really get some offensive work, do you?
So Brockport takes over at their own 22. Coachella again under center. Lewis and Smith both to the right side of the formation. Smith motions to the left. They're going to run that little toss counter play to Simmons up the middle, and he's brought down after a nice gain there, 6 yards on that carry.
I always like those kind of plays. You do run the toss, but you run it back up inside as you're trying to take advantage of the aggressiveness of the defense, trying to get them fly outside on you.
Lewis checks out. Mana checks in. 2nd and 4 here for Brockport. Early in this second quarter.
You got Dominic Clark, 24 at the top of your screen, freshman, coming in on Williams. They might try to take advantage of that matchup at the top of your screen. He doesn't have a safety over the top.
Takes a snap. He's going to throw. He's going to try to find Mana, and he does. That's going to be enough for a 1st down for Brockport as Mana makes a diving reception. Yeah, that's one that if you're Gachella watching film, he's probably going to want that one back. He did have a man going down the field open, again, over that single high safety. And it's Seems like he's not really coming off those first reads yet so far today.
No.
Hopefully he gets to that.
You got Clark on Williams at the top of your screen with no safety help over the top. There's a freshman going on him. So
first look here today at number 1, Zamir Jackson, who checks into the football game. He's a dual threat quarterback for Brockport. Simmons bounces it to the outside, and he's going to lower his shoulder, and he's out to the 40-yard line. So 6 yards on that one. Isaiah Simmons starting to pick up some steam here offensively, and you bring in Zamir Jackson. He had a 15-yard touchdown run last week. And the last game that we called Mario, he had a 40-yard touchdown run that got called back by a holding penalty. So Zamir Jackson is electric when he gets the ball in his hands.
And once again, with the game still, relevant, with the score being the way it is, it's something you tell Cortland, hey, we can bring this guy in too. Let's go.
Zamir Jackson out of East High in Rochester, so local quarterback. Takes the snap. He's going to fake it to Simmons, take it himself up the middle, and he again lowers his shoulder. And Luke Atlas is becoming a bit of a punching bag here for this Brockport run attack.
I'll tell you what, Brian, that's the third time that we've seen a player slip on this field today. I mean, we were down on the field pregame. It didn't seem as slippery as we've
gotten a lot of rain over the last couple of games too. It's been cold today, so it might be a little slick out there. Jackson out, Gachella back in. Manna in the slot on the lower half of the formation here. Simmons goes in quick motion to the left-hand side. Gachella is going to throw, and again out, way outside on that one. Luke Lockhart, the intended receiver.
Yeah, Gachella waited till he actually came out of his break, and that's one of those timing patterns that you got to throw it before he's in his break.
So 2nd and 10 here for the Golden Eagles.
But I like the route concept. If you have a quarterback that's having a little bit of difficulty getting off of their first read, what you do is you do levels.
Levels, yep.
So he rolled him out to the right. He had Manna at 5. He had Lockhart at 12. And he was, just take your pick. Wherever the safety goes, you go to the other side.
And the corner obviously went with Manna out of the 2.
Smart move.
4 wide set here for Brockport with Simmons to the left of Gachella.
Something underneath will be open.
And there it is to Williams. Williams takes a shot, stays on his feet. Nathan Williams with a nice run there. So big gain there for Nathan Williams. Boy, that was a shot that he took right at the first down sticks, and he just kept
the
going.
way he caught the ball. He knew he was going to take a shot, so he put his head down immediately.
He got hit by 2 Alfred defenders. There's another one in the slot. There's Daniel Manna up the seam. And all of a sudden, this Brockport passing attack is finding some success. And Ben Gachella finding a little bit of a rhythm here in the last couple of possessions or last couple of pass attempts. He's been wide a couple times, Mario, and it looks like he might be dialing in a little bit. A really nice ball to Williams on that slant route that, kind of let him catch it and protect himself. Didn't lead him ahead into the hit.
I mean, it's one of those things, Ryan, where you probably
we got an injured player here, number 32, down for Alfred. That'll give us an opportunity to give our shout out to our game sponsor today, Bob Johnson Auto Group. Bob Johnson carries 18 different auto manufacturers, ranging from Chevy to Ford to Toyota and many more in 25 locations throughout New York State. Choose from thousands of vehicles in stock. Check them out online, bobjohnsonautogroup.com, to find a location near you. Brockport a little frustrated with that decision to stop the clock. They were trying to go fast after that Manna catch.
No, but like I was saying before, Ryan, that's one of those things where you're on hole 4. You've been hitting the ball all over the course, and you just stick a par 3 right on. That's what Gachella is right now.
Manna goes in motion right to left. They're going to give it to Simmons. He bounces it to the outside, lowers his shoulder, and he's going to get 2 on that one. So inside the red zone, going to bring up 2nd and 8 here for Brockport.
Simmons bounces to the outside. Short gain, second down.
And that's what Simmons brings to you with his ability to run outside. What happens is it widens the defense out. So those 2 inside passes were open.
Yep. And Brockport subbed, so Alfred gets the chance to sub. 2nd and 8 here, 10:25 left in the second quarter. Brockport into the red zone. Second time today they've seen the red zone. Gachella takes the snap, looks, swing pass out to Simmons, and kind of let him right into contact there. Big hit, 2-yard gain on the play.
Yeah, I don't know if Coachella read cover 4 and it was cover 2 there. I'm not really sure, but
Aubin Marcus on the tackle there. Going to bring up 3rd and 7 for Brockport. Brockport
so we got
typically
Smith coming
good
back in.
against good in third down situations. 53.5% conversion rate coming into today. That's 13th in Division III. But they are 1 for 3 today on third down so far. Lockhart goes in motion, fakes the handoff to him. Seam route and knocked away. Good defensive play there. That was Marcus again who knocked that one away. Intended for Nathan Williams. Bring it up 4th down here, and McGowan comes on for another field goal attempt. This one is going to be a 35-yard attempt.
Yeah,
for him. Connor Parker, the holder.
That's one of those things, Ryan, that when you've had a little bit of trouble on the day throwing the ball, having a little bit of trouble with accuracy, you start aiming, not throwing.
Yeah.
And that's what he aimed it in there. He didn't throw it.
So we'll see McGowan. Opportunity to make it a 6-0 game here. 35-yard attempt. Good snap, good hold. Kick is up. Got the leg. And it is good. So Zach McGowan from 35 yards out knocks one in. He's 2 for 2 on the day. 6-0 Brockport. 9:23 here left. Be sure to check out The Rock, rocksportsnetwork.com, where you'll be able to watch today's game and all our games this season on demand, 24/7 on your smart TV, desktop, or mobile device. Rocksportsnetwork.com, Rochester's only digital sports channel. And make sure you follow Rock Sports Network on Facebook, where you can find some great local and regional sports news and entertainment, including live streaming high school and college game broadcasts, Rock Sports Network trackside racing show, Brockport Golden Eagles football, much more. Make sure to like and follow at Rock Sports Net across all social medias. And we appreciate everyone who's joined us on the broadcast today, both on Facebook and YouTube. A lot of constant viewers, a lot of good support over the last 9 years we've been doing this. We certainly appreciate everyone who joins us on Saturdays for Brockport football.
Yeah, all the alum on Facebook and all the wonderful comments on YouTube. Thank you, guys.
.923 here as Brockport's going to kick it away. A pair of Zach McGowan field goals are the difference here, 6-0, and it's been the Brockport defense has been the story so far today. It's been absolute stonewall against this Alfred offense. They have yet to convert a first down.
Tell me if you heard this. You know what I mean? I mean, if you're Alfred, obviously the game's not out of reach. It's just a one-scoring game here and there. But if you get over the 50 with 9:23 left,
you're going.
You 4-down territory for the rest of the game.
You're 4-down territory. Absolutely. McGowan gets into this one, and that's going to be a touchback. They should have been
when they're 3rd and 6 at the 50.
Yeah, I think you think about it.
I think
right? If you can call something to get you 4 yards,
yeah.
right? If you can get something to get you 4 yards.
Absolutely. Yeah, no question. And I thought they should have did it then. They should have went 4-down territory then. All right, so at least you give them the ball at the 45. You may do it now because of how your defense just performed on that last set of downs. So.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, too. If you're the offensive coordinator or the head coach for Alfred and you're seeing a struggling quarterback on the opposite side of the field, you go, hey, we can hold up off against the run. Their quarterback is, trying to dial it in. Let's go, show some confidence in your offense here.
Well, yeah, but the problem that, and I'll talk about it after this play.
Nyquist up the middle, and can you predict the outcome there? Nothing for him.
Well, one of the things where teams start to get in trouble here is that, okay, you see Coachella struggling on the other side, so you want to try to throw some more stuff at him. When in actuality, you start to sit back and let him make the mistake.
Yeah.
So that's usually when those big plays end up erupting,
Brockport coming into today only allowing 347 yards rushing on the season, and they're up to 350 so far today, about halfway through the second quarter. So running into the teeth of the Brockport defense is typically not advisable.
Oof.
Luca Friedman out on his linebacker position does a great job of taking that swing pass away there. It was 90-89. Jack Bucksbaum.
And you see some of the reasons why there, if you're watching. Their sideline to sideline speed is probably some of the best in Division III.
Yeah, and as typical as with a Mike Fox defense, it starts with those linebackers, right? He gets linebackers that can go sideline to sideline, and they can bring the pressure and they can cover. As you see now, they're bailing out off the right side, and they're going to try and throw deep here. And
Ooh.
nice catch there down the side. They're going to say incomplete.
Got
Good
dislodged
defense.
when he came down to the
Yeah,
ground.
good defense there. Elijah Grooms in coverage. And big 88 Dan Muchikna, who is 6'4", 200, tried to moss him. And good job by Grooms to stay with it. And great work by our cameraman there to get a nice look at that one. He came down out of bounds is what they're calling. So great job there by Grooms in coverage. So McGovern back to punt. Return is Manna. He's at his 40. So opportunity from us for some electricity here for Manna with not a lot of ground to cover. Line drive kick. This one's going to bounce, and he's going to field it. Manna picks that one up, and he's down across the 50-yard line, 45 down the sideline, and finally steps out of bounds after what looked like it was going to be one he was going to let roll. He saw, I mean, Mario, great job there because he saw the coverage man kind of overplayed on the bounce on that one. Came in a little hot, and suddenly Manna knew he could attack that football, and Manna takes it 27 yards to the 33.
He's earned enough collateral to do that, and I understand that. But that's one of those plays where you still get a little nervous when he tries to make a play
absolutely.
like that, you know. But I mean, it sets up the Brockport offense in awesome field position at the Alfred 32. Just trying to get back into rhythm as they were.
7:55 here left in the first half. Brockport 6-0, and Brockport did receive the opening kickoff, so they are going to be kicking off to open the second half. So you got to think in this opportunity, Mario, you're kind of looking for like a 2-for-1 situation here. If you can get a score, your defense can get you a 3 and out and get the ball back with time to score again before halftime. Simmons gets hit, and he's going to pick up 2 on this one.
Yeah, you'd like to. Obviously, scoring twice in under 8 minutes is a daunting task, but you still don't want to lose your identity as an offense. You just start slinging the ball along the yard, because then you end up giving Alfred more chances to come back at you.
So Gachella, Simmons, and Smith are in the backfield. Manna and Lockhart to the lower half of the formation. Nathan Williams, the lone man, to the top of the formation.
And he's one-on-one with no safety help, so starting to bail.
Going to look to throw. They're going to throw it to him, and he's out there, and Williams, incomplete.
Incomplete. Oh, all right.
Could not hang on to that one. Would have been close whether he came in.
Heck of a play by Alexander out there.
It was.
He's given up about 6 inches to.
Yeah, Alexander only 5'8", 150. And Williams 6'1", 182, so mismatch to the highest degree, and good job there by Alexander to get that one incomplete. 3rd and 8 here for Brockport, 7:11 left in the second quarter.
I mean, they got that 3 overlook. You might see Manna in the slot with that little skinny post. That's something they like
He's going to
running.
motion Smith. Gachella checks into it. There's Manna right in that. They call that the little honey hole shot there, Mario, right? That's the new phrase. And Manna slow to get up after he took a shot.
He did.
He's going to. So Daniel Manna took a shot on that one, but a nice ball by Gachella to kind of drop it right in there down the sideline over the safety in front of the, or over the linebacker in front of the safety. And Brockport's back in business here in the red zone down to the 11-yard line, so they can get a first down here. Simmons in the backfield. Tim Lewis in at tight end as well. They're going to give it to Simmons off the right side. Simmons across the 5, and Simmons is in. 11 yards out, Isaiah Simmons breaks the touchdown barrier for the first time today, and Isaiah Simmons pushing 100 yards on the day already. It's been a quiet day for Simmons, but he's racking up the yardage, some big carries today so far, and Brockport into the end zone.
So just as you said, Ryan, it was with 6:21 left. A chance for you to have your defense, maybe get a 3 and out. Maybe you can come back down and you have all 3 of your timeouts as well, and get the ball back with, I don't know, 3:50 left, 3:40, something like that.
McGowan on for the extra point here. Kicks up, kick good. So McGowan bangs it in, and that's 13-0 here, Brockport. So Brockport with a touchdown drive after a big Daniel Manna punt return. Isaiah Simmons, 15 carries, 77 yards, and a touchdown on the day today already, averaging 4.9 yards per carry. Daniel Manna,
that's quiet.
five receptions, 71 yards, leading the team.
Yeah, and for all-purpose yardage for a duo in Division III, I think they're ranked in the top 15 as well. So
Ben Gachella, 9 for 15 so far today, 88 yards, 109 QBR, 60% completion percentage. Reminder, he's top 10 in the country in completion percentage. He came into today about 68%, so he's a little down from where he usually is, but the wind is swirling today.
I think he's had 2 drops as well. So
yep. Off defensively, Brockport holding Alfred only 4 yards rushing so far today with a long of 2. Kelly, the quarterback, 4 for 8, 9 yards. And that comes after a 7-yard catch by Hogue on the last drive. So Alfred University is on the struggle bus today offensively, but that's to be expected against this Brockport defense.
Yeah, and if you look at all things considered, they're still only down 13.
Only down 2 scores. You know what I mean? Yeah, an opportunity to double dip here if they can. Put a drive together, try to get some points, go into halftime with some success. McGowan with the wind at his back. High kick. This one's going to get into the end zone.
You know, I was wondering why Alfred doesn't take more chances as far as what some of the things. I mean, you really have nothing to lose.
Well, they've taken 2 deep shots. They've taken 2 deep shots already today.
Oh yeah, I mean, but there were at times where you didn't really need it at that point. I mean, take like 2 or 3 yards back into the end zone, return it,
try
see
to get
what
a
happens.
return.
You know what I mean,
try to set something up.
Go for it on 4th down at the 50-yard line. You know what I mean? Your defense has been playing pretty well today, so. Let's see what they come out in here.
Alfred takes over at their own 25. 6:21 here left in the second quarter. Brockport defense looking to get the ball back. All 3 timeouts for both teams as that becomes critical at this juncture in the half. We're going to get a false start here. So not the best start here for Alfred as they're trying to get back into this ball game. And that was number 84 who jumped on that one, Carmine Hogue, the leading receiver.
Usually those happen when the ball's coming to you.
Yeah.
First and 15 for the Saxons.
Hogue's averaging 54 yards a game this season, only 7 yards so far today, 1 target.
Yeah, they got him. They got Sluka. You know, he's following him around.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to see. They really enjoy that matchup.
Kelly takes the snap. He's going to pump, throw. He's got a man wide open. Groom slipped on that one, but no damage done there. Nice pump fake there by Kelly. 6:16 left. 2nd and 15 coming up here for Alfred. Out comes Jameer Clark. In comes Golnitz. Extra linebacker checks in here.
So I got a question for you, Ryan. Do you think they put Sluka in that role of taking away the best receiver because he covers his brother in the offseason?
Yeah. He's got a pretty good one to match up against in the offseason, that's for sure. Hand up the middle, and first good run for Alfred. That one goes for 8 on the carry. That was Nyquist.
Gain of about 10. Brings up 3rd down.
All right, I'm going to ask it, Ryan. You know what's coming. We got 3rd down and 7. You're on your own 28-yard line. 6 minutes left, roughly, just under. Are you trying to go here, or do you still punt it?
I think you still punt it.
You still punt it?
I think you're too close. The game's still still tight enough. Just a mistake from Brockport gets you right back in it.
Yeah.
So you try to savor that. Maintain that. Kelly takes a snap. They're going to set up a screen pass to the outside, and his own player tripped him up on that one. So that was number 89 on the catch. That was Bucksbaum, and he was tripped up by Muchika.
And you had 4th and roughly around 3.
He had a little room to run there, too. Couple yard gain on that one. Going to bring up 4th and 5, so on comes the punt unit.
And I only ask because, I mean, it's different going into halftime down 20 to nothing if you went for it.
Yeah.
Then if you just give it back to them and they methodically just take it on you.
Daniel Manna at his own 35-yard line. McGovern on to punt here. A little bit of a high snap from McGovern. He fields it. Kick, line drive. It's going to bounce at the 35. Mana tries to pick it up, loses it. And we're going to see who gets this one. Jameer Clark came away with it. Daniel Mana, that's where you talk about Mario. The last time he tried to field that, he's got that, he's got that stock built up, but, that only goes so far.
Bit, you know what I mean?
That only goes so far before the coach grabs you and goes, let it bounce. So no harm, no foul there for Mana. Brockport's going to take over at their own 30-yard line, 70 yards to go, 4:44 on the clock, 3 timeouts.
I mean, with something like that, obviously he still has the equity to do what he wants back there because he's so electric and stuff. But just to send a message, I'm putting Micah Harry back there next time.
Next time,
punts.
just for one.
Just a reminder, you know what I mean? Just a reminder.
4 receivers set here for Brockport as they come into their 4-minute drill. 13-0 Brockport, trying to get another score here before halftime. They got 3 timeouts to do it. Coachella takes the snap, looks left, comes back right, gets it to Mana. Mana scampers out of bounds at the 35-yard line, so 5-yard catch and run for Daniel Mana.
Who still has his mouthpiece in his helmet.
After a 6-yard gain. Second down.
2nd and 5 coming up here for Brockport. Staying with that 4-wide set. They back into a cover 2, so does a good job just throwing underneath there to Williams.
Well, that's one of those things, too. What do you do for a struggling quarterback that you have that hasn't gone on?
Quick routes.
You have mirror routes on both sides with the doubles. So
then you don't need to make a read.
Yeah, he's just picking what side he wants to go and saying, okay, I like the coverages over here.
Yep. Brockport going fast here. Still 4 minutes left. First down. Fakes to Simmons. Gets it outside to Lockhart. And Lockhart picks up 2 on that one.
Yep, pick what side you like and go with it. That's all. That's all he's doing.
2nd and 8 here for Brockport.
And that's a great thing when you come back to the other side. If you're doing a multiple read, you already know what's over there.
Another one here. This one to Mana on the slant route. Mana catches it right at midfield. So that's going to bring up 3rd and 3 here for Brockport. 3:25 left. This is, I think you probably go for it regardless here, Mario, right?
Oh, yeah.
You're not going to punt it back to them.
I mean,
the way your
Alfred's
defense
not
is
calling
playing.
any timeouts on you.
Ooh, number 7. So let's see here because we did get a jump.
I think he got back, though. That's the thing.
But he did kind of take a stutter step, and that's what made McGoy move. So I think so. It was number 7 that was coming, Thomas Welch, the linebacker, trying to come off the right side. McGoy reacted. They're going to get encroachment. So good call there by the officials. Because Welch came, he crossed over, got back, and then he kind of stutter stepped again, and that's when McGoy reacted. So good job there by the right tackle. That's a free first down. You'll take those if you can get them.
Some mind games for senior versus senior right there. All right, once again, doubles formation with Simmons to his left. Coachella puts him in motion.
Going to send Lockhart there. 3 wides now to the right side. He throws back to Williams, who's by himself. Let's see what the call is here.
Timeout. Oh, false start.
Simmons got an early start there. So dueling offsides penalties.
I like the idea of that play, though. You bring everybody to the, you bring Lockhart across in order to give the slant open for Williams on the backside. Simmons just a little anxious there. I mean, one of the things that we don't talk about a lot, Ryan, is Simmons in pass pro.
Yeah.
He does excellent in pass pro.
4 wide set here. Gachella checks, and there's Mana on that hole shot again. Nice little seam route there. Anytime they run cover 2, they get an opportunity to throw that seam route. And they're going to it. It's the 3rd time today Mana's caught one. Clock continues to run. First down, Brockport. Nobody has used a timeout yet. Gachella trying it again, and Mana got a finger on it. Couldn't quite bring it in there. That's a let's see if he can make a play type of ball there.
I firmly believe that if Mana catches that, he's probably down because he
would have taken a shot.
That safety was coming across hard.
2nd and 10 here for Brockport. 2:18 left on the clock, so you will get a shot at the 2-minute warning here probably after this play. That might have been a little gamesmanship there by Mangoni trying to get a score before that 2-minute timeout.
Absolutely.
A little bit of a reverse play. Daniel Manna has it in some space. He cuts it back across the middle of the field down to the 25-yard line. So 7-yard gain on that one, and that'll bring us to the 2-minute timeout here.
More for the tape.
2-minute timeout, a great opportunity to show our first half sponsor some love here, Lattimore Physical Therapy and Sports Rehab. At Lattimore, their physical therapists enjoy the work they do and bring a positive attitude to their patients' therapy experience. They want their patients' therapy to be something they look forward to each and every session. If patients tell their friends and family about their success at Lattimore, they know they've done their job. LattimorePT.com. And a reminder, today's game brought to you by Bob Johnson Auto Group. Bob Johnson carries 18 different auto manufacturers ranging from Chevy to Ford to Toyota and many more. 25 locations throughout New York State. Check out thousands of vehicles in stock. Check online, BobJohnsonAutoGroup.com to find a location near you. So 2 minutes left here. Brockport leading 13-0. A pair of Zach McGowan field goals and a Isaiah Simmons 11-yard touchdown run is the difference here. And a stout Brockport defense as expected today. So I think defensively, we've gotten what we expected out of Brockport. Offensively, a little bit of a struggle so far, but an opportunity to go in 20-point half is nothing to sneeze at when you by all accounts haven't played great offensively.
No, and one of the things that we've known about Brockport is, especially at Bob Boozer Field, their adjustments that they make out of the half are stellar. So
3rd and 3 here for Brockport. Gachello takes the snap. He's got Manna. Touchdown, Daniel Manna from 25 yards out.
Ran that scissors route on the outside. Manna in the slot, running right down toward the corner. And that's one of those bread and butters that they like to run. They like to run that scissors route on the inside.
And they just let Manna get behind him. The safety couldn't recover and get over in time. And from 25 yards out, Gachello to Manna.
So 2 of the most electric players in Division III with, as far as in the top 15 in all-purpose yards, Manna and Simmons both find the end zone in this first half with 1:55 left with the extra point coming up.
Manna with his 7th receiving touchdown of the season. Kick is up, kick is good, makes it 20-0 Brockport. So here's a question for you, Mario. Brockport's defense, playing elite, of course. 3 and outs all over the field. You got 3 timeouts if you're Mangoni. Little gamesmanship. You try to call some timeouts if they try to run the football.
If it's Morrisville or Hartwick, yeah. But otherwise than that, it could be a chance to work on some situational football.
Sure,
I can understand that, especially from a team that beat you in the final game.
Now the other question is
is
Alfred going to try and throw? Because if you're going to get a clock stoppage on an incomplete pass, and you can save some of those timeouts.
Oh, absolutely.
Now,
I mean, you'll be able to tell
thinking
from the
about
first,
going.
You can tell by the first play. I mean, if Alfred decides to run the ball up the middle, then you can think about burning a timeout because you know what their intent is. If you're content going into halftime and giving the ball back to them, we've seen a couple shots that Alfred took where if the ball's just a little bit on the more on the money, they have 6. So it's not like you could sleep on what's going on out there. But if I'm Mangoni, I'm not calling any timeouts. I'm going into halftime, trying to make my adjustments. My defense starts the second half.
How conservative of you.
Oh, yes, 100%.
I'm calling timeouts.
So you're calling timeout?
I'm going for it. Yeah,
right.
I'm gonna put my eggs in my offense's basket. I'm going to show confidence in my quarterback that, listen, if we can get a short field situation, we can get a blocked punt, a bobbled punt, a big return from Manna. There's so much that can happen on special teams to set your offense up. And then you got a big leg with the wind at his back and McGowan that, you can maybe take a shot at a long field goal if you get in. There's a lot of situational opportunities here. It starts with a big kick by McGowan. That one's powered into the end zone. And 1:55 left, so here comes the Brockport defense.
You liked Fox so much. The aggressiveness.
1st and 10 here for Alfred. Brockport 20-0. So a pair of McGowan field goals, an 11-yard run by Simmons, and we just saw the 25-yard touchdown from Daniel Manna. So
I'll tell you what, Ray, I'll meet you in the middle on this one. If I was getting the ball in the second half, I'd call timeout.
Okay, so if you had an opportunity to double dip.
Yes,
yeah.
that's always good to do.
Gotcha. 155 here, 4 wide receiver set. They're going to throw. Kelly, he's going to try and go deep. He's got a man. Nice job knocking that one away. That was Grooms in coverage. And just last minute knocked that one away from Bucksbaum. So now, Mario, 155, only 5 seconds comes off the clock.
You don't need to
burn a timeout.
And then this is
It looks like they're going to
Alfred,
throw again, I think,
they
setting up.
may. This is them going for a shot. And like I told you before, when they were down 13-0.
Friedman showing pressure up the middle. Now they're showing pressure from Wilson off the left side. Pressure coming. Luca Friedman gets there, brings him down.
Now you burn
and now
one.
we get a
There it is.
timeout.
Now he's burning one. There you go.
So 143, 3rd and long, and Brockport with an opportunity here after they bring pressure. So they showed Friedman up the middle. They showed Wilson off the left side. They dropped Wilson, brought Friedman, and Friedman gets home.
Well, this is one of those things, Ryan. We talked about it. I mean, they haven't been calling Alfred hasn't seen 9 years of games here. And this is where the teams play passive, afraid to make that one mistake or take a shot. And then when they're down 20, they try to take the shot, and then it's too late by that point.
So Friedman with his 2nd sack of the season. 15 yards. That was a 8-yard sack there. Brings up 3rd and 18 for Alfred. And an opportunity for this Brockport defense to pin its ears back a bit.
I mean,
2 timeouts left for Brockport, so they'll have at least 1 left if they can stop them on 3rd down here.
Yeah, if I'm Alfred, I can't have an incomplete pass here. I need to burn one of their timeouts at least.
Yep. So do you run, maybe like an underneath slant or something just to see if you can break a tackle and go?
I hand
it off.
I mean, I'm handing it off to Nyquist right now.
Pressure
Inside.
up the middle. Friedman and Wilson again. Kelly's got to be looking at that. So Friedman comes again and almost got home. They throw deep and out of bounds. And
he's still down, too.
Kelly is still down. He got hit by number 6 coming off the edge, Kanye Davis. And he put a hit on Kelly, who's slow to get up. He's up and he's off the field. So Brockport's going to get the ball back. It's 139. They're going to punt it away to Mana here. Still 2 timeouts left. So aggressive wins the day over conservative. But again, we talked about it. It helps that they threw the football, right? It helps that they threw it 3 times instead of trying to run and making Brockport use their timeouts. So here's Mana. He's standing at his own 46-yard line.
16 seconds gone off the clock, by the way.
It almost blocked it again. They're going to get a flag here. We're going to get a flag. This one. Now the question is it going to be roughing or running into, because one's a free 1st down and one is a
I think the
5-yard variety.
Offense is coming back on the field. I think this is going to be a roughing. I mean, Brockport got the first 50-50 earlier today with the one call, making it an automatic 1st down that led to a score. So it's interesting to see what they decide here, talking to the.
So it's not. So my guess is it's not roughing the kicker, because they wouldn't be talking to the coach this long if it was a free 1st down.
True.
I think what they're trying to ask is, do you want to re-kick it or do you want to tack it on to the tack it onto the end?
Yeah.
And I think the coach is asking, why isn't it roughing? If I'm reading body language, making some assumptions here.
Well, he's got a 1-game win streak against Brockport.
Yeah, just running into the kicker. So good decision there by Alfred to tack it on to the end of the play and not give Daniel Mana a chance or the defense another chance to try to block it. Brockport's going to take over in their own territory, but, it was a bad punt. So the punt did come off the foot bad. Brockport's going to take over at their own, it looks like 45-yard line.
No, you got 2 timeouts.
2 timeouts,
left.
only 55 yards to go.
You have the chance to run it if you want.
And you've got McGowan, who's already hit one from 35 going this direction. So I think you have some flexibility here offensively. 1:30 left.
I mean, I would try to exploit the matchup that you have on the outside with Williams versus Alexander again. He has like a 5-inch height difference, and he doesn't have a safety over the top of him.
And the other thing I think you look at is, are they going to continue to let Daniel Mana run up the seam uncovered.
True.
Right?
True.
So,
and I think that's where the attention is. That's why you split Williams and Manna
Yeah,
the way that you
absolutely,
do.
yeah.
You never put them on the same side because you don't want to overload that side. I mean, I might do it today just to give Cortland something, but
so Brockport from their own 43-yard line, 4 wide receivers, Simmons to the left of Gachella.
if Williams gets an inside release, Gachella might put it on him.
It's Lockhart and Lockhart and Manna to the lower half of the screen. Top half of the screen is going to be, it's Ronk and Manna on the lower half of the formation. Top half is Lockhart and Williams. And again, no safety help over the top on that left side for Williams. They're playing single high. Fakes. They're going to give the handoff to Simmons, and he's going to get across the 50 before he's brought down. So, and you do get a clock stoppage in college. Reminder, when they reset the first downs, the clock stops. So Brockport's going quick here, trying to salvage timeouts. You don't mind the run if you can get a first down off of it because the clock stops. They're going to look to throw, swing pass to Simmons, tries to make a man miss, and he eventually goes out of bounds. So good job there by Isaiah Simmons. Only gets a yard, but gets out of bounds. 1:11 left on the clock.
And one of the things about this Brockport 2-minute offense that I thought was so unique is that they don't run a lot of deep routes. So these receivers aren't coming all the way back if there was happen to be a tackle inbounds.
And you don't mind that swing pass to Simmons again because you try to make him break a tackle if you can get him in space.
Yep.
They're sticking with that same formation, standard for Brockport. Just, that's how you run a hurry up. You just kind of, everybody goes to the same spot. We run a lot of stuff off of it. Gachella takes the snap. He's going to go down. Good job there by Gachella to just go down and not risk losing the football.
It's very interesting.
So he's going to lose 6 on that one.
Pop quiz, Ryan. We got third and 15. What's something you noticed about the Brockport offense that we haven't seen out of Mangoni offense yet? No tight ends.
Yeah.
Yeah. Usually he has at least one that's in there that's running the scene, that's occupying the middle linebacker and doing a lot of things. He doesn't have that now.
So they are letting the clock run here, trying not to give Alfred the ball back with too much time left if they do. 3rd and 16, 35 seconds left. Clock continues to run. Gachella in the shotgun. He's just going to hand it to Simmons. And Simmons finds some room out across the 45. Down the sideline, Isaiah Simmons runs out of bounds at the 30-yard line. So what looked to be all right, we'll just go into halftime. And you hand it to Isaiah Simmons, and now he's over 100 yards.
Which begs the question, why didn't Alfred call the timeout after the sack?
Yeah, it was interesting. So 1st and 10 for Brockport. They're down to the 30-yard line of Alfred, and they are probably pretty close to field goal range here for McGowan.
With the wind at his back.
With the wind at his back.
I believe, yeah.
Throw, and they're going to try Williams, and incomplete there.
Just a little too high.
In coverage was Aubin Marcus.
I mean, it was just a little high, but I like the placement of it because either Williams is getting that or nobody is.
Yeah.
He didn't throw it to the inside.
He didn't try to throw it into coverage, 18 seconds left on the clock. Now you're thinking about, can I get, maybe can I run a slant route? Can I?
Two.
Yeah.
You got 2 timeouts.
You got 2 timeouts
one for the field goal.
So you're not worried about
stop.
throwing into the middle of the field here yet.
Yeah, you got 2nd down. You want to throw 1 in the middle, call your timeout. You take 1 shot at the end zone, and then you can actually still run it if you needed to.
They're going to run a screen pass to Simmons. Nothing doing there. Great job by that Alfred defense. And you got a Alfred player who right away calls for a trainer, so we got a man down.
So is that timeout going to be attributed to Alfred, or is that going
That's a good question. That's a good question because there does have to be a clock stoppage. I think Mangoni's probably going to ask for his timeout back.
He might get it.
TJ Marsh is the player that's down for Alfred. He called for a trainer right away. Last opportunity here. We'll give our first half sponsor a shout out. Lattimore Physical Therapy and Sports Rehab. Lattimore Physical Therapy's network of clinics currently offer 30 locations throughout the area, including Spencerport, North Chilide, Greece, and right here in Brockport in the Wegmans Plaza. They provide access to more than 90 certified physical therapists who have experience treating most conditions and sports injuries, and in most cases are able to schedule their patient's first appointment within 1 week. They offer initial consultations within 24 hours for your convenience. LattimorePT.com.
All right. Once again, we have a meeting of the aggressive versus the conservative here. Ryan, are you taking a shot at the end zone, or are you just trying to get a little bit more room for McGowan? Use your last time out if you can. You trying to get 5, 6, 7 yards from McGowan? Call your timeout.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're going to try. I think you're going to try and set something up where you see if you can go back to that Mana touchdown route, that seam route. You know, that route where he can kind of get behind the linebacker in front of the safety.
You got him to the wide side now.
13 seconds left here.
And you got Williams to the top of your screen, who's going to be covered by the
and
junior,
on that short side of the
Marcus.
field, you know he's going to draw single coverage. They're not going to throw anybody over the top, and they're going to run. They got Lockhart on that side who could run something underneath.
They moved Alexander purposely on this side. They've had him on Williams the entire day.
Yeah.
So they know that that's where he wants to go.
Come back to Williams, gets down quick.
And then it's really
Timeout here, so 8 seconds.
I don't think he got the look that he wanted when Alexander was over on that side. So it's okay, let me take what I can get from McGowan and have him.
And I think Alfred played that the right way.
Absolutely.
You had the opportunity. Do you try to take away the short passes, or do you try to take away the deep shot? And they took away the deep shot. So good job by Gachella to kind of just settle for the underneath. They're going to bring on the special teams unit here. This will be a 31-yard try for McGowan.
41. Correct?
Yeah, you're better at math than I am. That's why you get paid for it. 41-yard try here for McGowan.
Here.
So McGowan on to try the field goal here. It'll be a 41-yard try. Connor Parker is the holder.
Special teams player of the week last week, as we mentioned, with 7 extra points and 2 field goals.
This will be a career long for McGowan if he's able to knock this one through. 41 yards from the left hash. Wind has died down a bit at the field level. It's still a little hot, a little at his back, higher up where that ball is going to travel. Parker to hold, holds down, kicks up, got the leg, and it is good. So Zach McGowan bangs it in from 41 yards.
With a 41-yard field goal, makes it 23-0 Brockport.
And we're getting a little bit of a protest from Jack Best pitch. I think he thinks it went over the verticality of the post, but he did not agree that one was good. So, but it's good. 23-0 Brockport. 3 seconds left here. They'll kick this one away and go into halftime. 9th,
10th, and 11th point for McGowan today. That's probably why he's more upset, is that opposing kicker is outscoring his team.
So 3 field goals for McGowan and 2 touchdowns, 1 from Simmons, 1 from Mana is the scoring in this first half. And what started as a very, very slow offensive production day has led to 23 points in the first half for Brockport. And again, that comes into play because as tiebreakers come into the scenario, they're Cortland sitting at undefeated in Empire 8, 5-0. They face Brockport next week. Brockport, one of 3 teams sitting at 3-1. 2 of those teams playing each other today, Utica and St. John Fisher. And there's a chance that you could have a 3-way tie at the top of the Empire 8 as the season comes to a close if Brockport can win next week at Cortland. So all of that comes into play because the second tiebreaker is points scored in conference. And Brockport right now has a lot of points, and so does Cortland. So you want to score as many points as you can here against teams like Alfred. Kick is fielded and out across the 30 and brought down finally, and that was Elijah Grooms on the tackle. Sorry, Jameer Clark. We'll give him the credit. This will bring us to halftime here as Brockport leads 23-0. We're going to take a break, but we'll be back for the second half. Make sure you stick with us. Looks like the Brockport dance team is going to put on a show, so we'll have that at halftime. But otherwise, we'll be back for the game. 20 minutes here. Make sure you set your timers and come back. Leave the stream running. We'll see you on the other side of the Rock Sports Network Golden Eagles Game of the Week, brought to you by Bob Johnson Auto Group.
Greatest Cheeseburger also has Rochester's best Icelandic long-line cod haddock fish fry. Cooked to perfection. Delicious haddock fish fries and sandwiches served on a fresh-baked Apollo roll. Every day of the week, open till close. Get one today. Gimme, gimme, gimme Bill Gray's haddock fish fry.
If you're living with pain or recovering from surgery and don't know where to start, Lattimore Physical Therapy can help. The Lattimore Promise includes an individual diagnosis with a highly trained licensed physical therapist on your first visit, a personalized treatment plan, communication with your doctor, and a continued personal care plan. You're never more than minutes away from pain relief. Visit LattimorePT.com.
Lattimore Physical Therapy.
Bill Gray's, home of the world's greatest cheeseburger, offers Bill Gray's Great Plates, topped any way you want them, for $9.99 every Tuesday and now Sunday. $9.99 Great Plates, Tuesdays and Sundays.
Gimme, gimme, gimme Bill Gray's.
Honey, who's got the best deal on
Bob Johnson.
flower pots? The best deal on flower pots.
Bob Johnson doesn't have deals on flower pots, but we have the very best deals on new cars, trucks, and SUVs. Best inventory, best service, best pricing, best people. Bob Johnson, this is where the savings are.
Bob Johnson.
Bob Johnson.
Honey, where's the best place to fix chairs?
Bob Johnson.
Chairs, like this one.
Bob Johnson doesn't fix furniture, but we service and repair every car, truck, and SUV there is. Best inventory, best service, best pricing, best people. Bob Johnson, this is where the savings are.
Bob Johnson.
Bill Gray's, home of the world's greatest cheeseburger, also has Rochester's best Icelandic long-line cod haddock fish fry. Cooked to perfection. Delicious haddock fish fries and sandwiches served on a fresh baked Apollo roll. Every day of the week, open till close. Get one today. Gimme, gimme, gimme Bill Gray's haddock fish fry.
If you're living with pain or recovering from surgery and don't know where to start, Lattimore Physical Therapy can help. The Lattimore Promise includes an individual diagnosis with a highly trained licensed physical therapist on your first visit, a personalized treatment plan, communication with your doctor, and a continued personal care plan. You're never more than minutes away from pain relief. Visit LattimorePT.com.
Lattimore Physical Therapy.
Bill Gray's, home of the world's greatest cheeseburger, offers Bill Gray's Great Plates, topped any way you want them, for $9.99 every Tuesday and now Sunday. $9.99 Great Plates, Tuesdays and Sundays.
Gimme, gimme, gimme Bill Gray's.
Honey, who's got the best deal on
Bob Johnson.
flower pots? The best deal on flower pots.
Bob Johnson doesn't have deals on flower pots, but we have the very best deals on new cars, trucks, and SUVs. Best inventory, best service, best pricing, best people. Bob Johnson, this is where the savings are.
Bob Johnson.
Bob Johnson.
Honey, where's the best place to fix chairs?
Bob Johnson.
Chairs, like this one.
Bob Johnson doesn't fix furniture, but we service and repair every car, truck, and SUV there is. Best inventory, best service, best pricing, best people. Bob Johnson, this is where the savings are.
Bob Johnson.
Bill Gray's, home of the world's greatest cheeseburger, also has Rochester's best Icelandic long-line cod haddock fish fry. Cooked to perfection. Delicious haddock fish fries and sandwiches served on a fresh baked Apollo roll. Every day of the week, open till close. Get one today. Gimme, gimme, gimme Bill Gray's haddock fish fry.
If you're living with pain or recovering from surgery and don't know where to start, Lattimore Physical Therapy can help. The Lattimore Promise includes an individual diagnosis with a highly trained licensed physical therapist on your first visit, a personalized treatment plan, communication with your doctor, and a continued personal care plan. You're never more than minutes away from pain relief. Visit LattimorePT.com.
Lattimore Physical Therapy.
Bill Gray's, home of the world's greatest cheeseburger, offers Bill Gray's Great Plates, topped any way you want them, for $9.99 every Tuesday and now Sunday. $9.99 Great Plates, Tuesdays and Sundays.
Gimme, gimme, gimme Bill Gray's.
Honey, who's got the best deal on
Bob Johnson.
flower pots? The best deal on flower pots.
Bob Johnson doesn't have deals on flower pots, but we have the very best deals on new cars, trucks, and SUVs. Best inventory, best service, best pricing, best people. Bob Johnson, this is where the savings are.
Bob Johnson.
Bob Johnson.
Honey, where's the best place to fix chairs?
Bob Johnson.
Chairs, like this one.
Bob Johnson doesn't fix furniture, but we service and repair every car, truck, and SUV there is. Best inventory, best service, best pricing, best people. Bob Johnson, this is where the savings are.
Bob Johnson.
Bill Gray's, home of the world's greatest cheeseburger, also has Rochester's best Icelandic long-line cod haddock fish fry. Cooked to perfection. Delicious haddock fish fries and sandwiches served on a fresh baked Apollo roll. Every day of the week, open till close. Get one today. Gimme, gimme, gimme Bill Gray's haddock fish fry.
If you're living with pain or recovering from surgery and don't know where to start, Lattimore Physical Therapy can help. The Lattimore Promise includes an individual diagnosis with a highly trained licensed physical therapist on your first visit, a personalized treatment plan, communication with your doctor, and a continued personal care plan. You're never more than minutes away from pain relief. Visit LattimorePT.com.
Lattimore Physical Therapy.
Bill Gray's, home of the world's greatest cheeseburger, offers Bill Gray's Great Plates, topped any way you want them, for $9.99 every Tuesday and now Sunday. $9.99 Great Plates, Tuesdays and Sundays.
Gimme, gimme, gimme Bill Gray's.
Honey, who's got the best deal on
Bob Johnson.
flower pots? The best deal on flower pots.
Bob Johnson doesn't have deals on flower pots, but we have the very best deals on new cars, trucks, and SUVs. Best inventory, best service, best pricing, best people. Bob Johnson, this is where the savings are.
Bob Johnson.
Bob Johnson.
Honey, where's the best place to fix chairs?
Bob Johnson.
Chairs, like this one.
Bob Johnson doesn't fix furniture, but we service and repair every car, truck, and SUV there is. Best inventory, best service, best pricing, best people. Bob Johnson, this is where the savings are.
Bob Johnson.
Bill Gray's, home of the world's greatest cheeseburger, also has Rochester's best Icelandic long-line cod haddock fish fry. Cooked to perfection. Delicious haddock fish fries and sandwiches served on a fresh baked Apollo roll. Every day of the week, open till close. Get one today. Gimme, gimme, gimme Bill Gray's haddock fish fry.
If you're living with pain or recovering from surgery and don't know where to start, Lattimore Physical Therapy can help. The Lattimore Promise includes an individual diagnosis with a highly trained licensed physical therapist on your first visit, a personalized treatment plan, communication with your doctor, and a continued personal care plan. You're never more than minutes away from pain relief. Visit LattimorePT.com.
Lattimore Physical Therapy.
Bill Gray's, home of the world's greatest cheeseburger, offers Bill Gray's Great Plates, topped any way you want them, for $9.99 every Tuesday and now Sunday. $9.99 Great Plates, Tuesdays and Sundays.
Gimme, gimme, gimme Bill Gray's.
Honey, who's got the best deal on
Bob Johnson.
flower pots? The best deal on flower pots.
Bob Johnson doesn't have deals on flower pots, but we have the very best deals on new cars, trucks, and SUVs. Best inventory, best service, best pricing, best people. Bob Johnson, this is where the savings are.
Bob Johnson.
Bob Johnson.
Honey, where's the best place to fix chairs?
Bob Johnson.
Chairs, like this one.
Bob Johnson doesn't fix furniture, but we service and repair every car, truck, and SUV there is. Best inventory, best service, best pricing, best people. Bob Johnson, this is where the savings are.
Bob Johnson.
The world's greatest cheeseburger offers Bill Gray's Great Plates, topped any way you want them for $9.99 every Tuesday and now Sunday. $9.99 Great Plates, Tuesdays and Sundays.
Gimme, gimme, gimme Bill Gray's.
Honey, who's got the best deal on
Bob Johnson.
flower pots? The best deal on flower pots.
Bob Johnson doesn't have deals on flower pots, but we have the very best deals on new cars, trucks, and SUVs. Best inventory, best service, best pricing, best people. Bob Johnson, this is where the savings are.
Bob Johnson.
Bob Johnson.
Bill Gray's, home of the world's greatest cheeseburger, also has Rochester's best Icelandic long-line cod haddock fish fry. Cooked to perfection. Delicious haddock fish fries and sandwiches served on a fresh baked Apollo roll. Every day of the week, open till close. Get one today. Gimme, gimme, gimme Bill Gray's haddock fish fry. Bill Gray's, home of the...
All right, we're back here as we're about to kick off to the second half. Alfred set to return here. Score check for some relevant games around Empire 8. Cortland right now leading Alfred State 21-0. That one's early in the second quarter. And then the other game that everyone's keeping an eye on right now is St. John Fisher Utica. Utica right now leading St. John Fisher 17-0 early in the second quarter as well on that one. Both of those were 1 o'clock kickoffs. So we'll keep an eye on those as the day goes on. Those are the four teams atop the Empire 8. Brockport still to play Cortland next week and Utica the week after. So Brockport is in playoff mode here. A loss today by Fisher essentially eliminates them from consideration for the Empire 8. And things come down to, as they typically do in the Empire 8, between Cortland and Brockport next week. So McGowan on to kick this one away. This one's going to get fielded at the 5-yard line out across the 20 and down the sideline out to the 25, and an extra yard or so there. That was number 25 on the return for Alfred. So first half check here, some stat checks. Isaiah Simmons leading the way on the ground as he always does. 18 carries, 110 yards, and a touchdown. Ben Gachella 18 for 26, 158, and a touchdown as well. Daniel Manna 10 targets, 9 catches, 125, and a touchdown offensively for Brockport. Leading the way for tackles, Luca Friedman, as he does lead the team in tackles, 3 tackles and a sack. So Alfred first look here. 1st and 10, man goes in motion. Kelly takes the snap. He's going to fake the pitch. He's going to come back to throw across the middle of the field, and a nice contested catch there. Brought down by number 10, Kyle Sluka, but that's enough for a first down. First converted first down of the day for Alfred. First time that they've gotten a first down that wasn't the result of a turnover. So Kelly with a nice throw there. And they're going to give it to Nyquist up the middle. So a little bit of room to run until Nazir Wilson
decides to introduce himself
there. 4-yard gain on the play.
Just a heads up that 18 offensive plays run by Alfred in the first half, 15 total yards, which they just came out and got in 2 plays.
2nd and 7 here. Halftime adjustments made offensively by Alfred. Worked so far to start. We'll see as Brockport adjusts to the adjustments, as they tend to do. Fake the handoff. He's going to roll, and he's going to take a shot. He loses the football. Brockport trying to scoop and score, and they can't, but they eventually fall on it, and Brockport is going to take over here. Number 9 comes out of the pile for Brockport. Jaden Farrell. And again, Brockport tried to pick it up and run with it, and 2 guys dropped it. Alfred almost picked it back up, and finally Farrell falls on it. So Brockport's going to take over at the 33-yard line of the Saxons. 13:27 left here. Brockport's scoring summary so far. We've got a trifecta of field goals from Zach McGowan. He's got one from 25, one from 35, one from 41. His career long. We've got an Isaiah Simmons 11-yard run, and we've got a Daniel Manna 25-yard catch from Gachella. That's the scoring in the first half. Brockport looking to add to that total here. The toss to Simmons on the right. He cuts back across the 30, across the 35. Finally shoved out of bounds at the 21-yard line. So that's a 12-yard carry there by Simmons to add to his total.
Yeah,
and he's all of a sudden pushing 150 rushing yards on the day.
Yeah, and Brockport coming out once again with Coachella under center. One of those things that we haven't seen in a while. Usually like to run that trap play in the middle with the H-back, but pitch play working just as effective.
Here's Simmons again, this time off the left side. He's got a decent-sized hole, lowers his shoulder, and he's going to pick up, looks like 8 on that one.
So, Ryan, curious, as we talked about at the onset of this game, is there certain things that you want to put together for Cortland to look at that you may not have gone over the entire season? Number one, Coachella under center. Number two, doubles formation without a tight end, which I haven't seen in the years that we've been calling games. What other kind of changes can you see that Mangoni has instilled today that Cortland has to take another look at?
It's the first time we've seen that toss look into their standard counter, which is an interesting wrinkle that they've added to that, because now you can run it out of an under center formation. There's Simmons again.
Whoa.
Bounce it to the outside. Simmons, he's going to score. Isaiah Simmons from 14 yards out. Nifty move on the edge. And Isaiah Simmons,
not quick, he's sudden.
Not quick, he's sudden. That's right. He's up to 144 yards rushing. And 2 touchdowns on the day. Isaiah Simmons, reminder, comes into today as the 10th ranked rusher in Division III football, and he's adding to that total, already up about his game average.
And as we see with that run, ladies and gentlemen, that was one of the things that makes him very special as a runner.
McGowan on to add the extra point, kicks up, kicks good, and feel bad for who's got to go chase that one. He put a leg into that from the extra point, but 12-12 left here. Brockport up 30-0. Again, points matter when it comes to tiebreaker scenarios. So Brockport does, not that they want to embarrass anybody, but they got to put points up, because this game, Alfred, or when you look at Cortland beat this team 65-12. So when you're talking about chasing points, you've got to put some points on the board here in the second half if you're Brockport.
And they're screen watching all the time.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So, Ryan, quick discussion as Brockport is up 30-0 on Alfred. You got 3 teams tied at 3-1 in the Empire 8. Obviously, Cortland's 5-0. They're at the top of the heap. If they win out, they're in. No, that's no brainer right there. But then you have Utica, Fisher, and Brockport. Okay, Utica and Fisher, as you stated earlier, already playing today. Utica up 17-0 against Fisher.
17-7. Fisher just scored.
17-7. Okay. Now, the quick math: if Fisher loses, they're out.
Yep.
They're going to be done. If Fisher wins, Utica's out.
Really interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, Utica's out. So then you got a 3-man race, pretty much. If Brockport is to defeat Cortland next week, then you have 3 different teams with 1 loss in Empire 8.
This one's fielded at the 6-yard line. He comes across the left side of the formation. Man misses him at the 15. Wrapped up and finally brought down. They're going to give him the 23-yard line on that one. So a return there. That's where Alfred's going to take over. Last possession ended with a Kelly fumble and a Jaden Farrell fumble recovery.
So as we started in the at the beginning of the broadcast, Brockport after today has 2 essentially playoff games.
Yeah.
You're playing Cortland and you're playing Utica, which is up on Fisher, who had defeated you earlier in overtime this year. If Utica happens to make it to the final table with you, they have a common opponent, but unless something catastrophic happens with Alfred State versus Cortland today, Utica does not have a chance to make the playoffs.
Nyquist takes the carry, and he's stacked up. He's going to get a yard on this one. So that Brockport defense continuing to play well against the run. That's the 5th rushing yard for Alfred today. Brockport comes into today only allowing about 50 yards rushing per game. Second and 9 here. 3 wide set. They're showing pressure off the right side. They're going to throw to that side and incomplete. Never had a shot at that. Grooms is fired up after that one.
Incomplete. Third down.
Appreciate everybody who's watching with us here. Cedric Campbell, former player at Brockport, checking us out on the stream. Jeff Martin, Hank Reigel as well.
You know, people like
Mike Loacano and Eileen Schaefer, always a fan from Atlanta, Georgia.
You know, people like to talk about this run defense and how it's so effective and all this stuff with the linebackers. And they're able to do that because they have such physical corners year in and year out.
There's a throw to the outside. Nifty catch there, but not going to be enough for a first down as Friedman and Sluka combine on the tackle there. Caught by Dan Muchika. So Brockport 3 and out again today. And that brings Alfred 0 for 7 on the day on third down. Brockport 20th in Division III in terms of that, and that number will improve after today. We're going to get our first look at a new return man here. Looks like they got Harry back to return. He's going to let this one bounce and tries to pick it up, and he boots it, and Alfred's going to pick it up and score. So Harry tried to pick it up. Now we're going to get a conference here from the officials. Harry tried to pick it up, and he wound up kind of booting it backwards. And I think they're going to mark him down at the 1 on this one. So a special teams gaff gives Alfred the opportunity to punch one in here if they can convert. So Mario, we kind of tongue-in-cheek joked about that because Mana tried to pick one up and wound up, just kind of muffing it. But so you put Harry back there for 1, and he muffs one. And that results in a turnover. So now Alfred's set up at the 1 yard line, 10:31 left here.
What's the next step? Nobody back there?
Just let it bounce,
let it bounce?
man. Yeah, just bring an 11-man block opportunity. Handoff to Nyquist, and he's stopped short, so nothing doing there. And that was Grooms and Servey in there on the tackle.
We're going to play this game for 3 or 4 plays.
2nd and 1. So Brockport's only allowed 5 rushing yards all day today. So Alfred's trying to punch one in here with Nyquist. Nyquist 5'9", 195. So that they don't really have a big back on this team that they can use in these situations. So it's really just hat on hat, man on man. They're going to try it again, and he is
stacked
up at the 1. So this Brockport defense holding so far, emotionally led by at least Elijah Grooms. He's been in on 2 tackles so far already from his corner position.
And this is where you think that the advantage would go to Alfred State. We talked about the defensive line with the quickness and the speed and the strength versus the size, just the sheer size of this Alfred State line, or this Alfred University line.
And Grooms right in the middle of that defense right now, trying to get these guys fired up for another stand on third down. And you talk about Grooms, from a run support, dimension. He's 5'11", 180, so he's not a small corner.
No.
He's got some size to him. Big backs in here for, they're going to try to throw this time. That one's tipped and knocked down, incomplete. So now it's 4th and 1 here, and this Brockport defense is fired up. Jason Thomas got his hands on that one at his nose tackle position.
Well, we've seen over the past few years, Ryan, we've seen that this defense was elite championship caliber defense, but they got put in some bad spots or some bad turnovers.
And they're in a bad spot right now.
Yeah, they were in the worst possible spot you could be right now, and they're like, listen, we're not letting these guys in.
4th and 1 here as Brockport tries to hold, 9:04 left. Low snap, they recover, hand it off. He was wrapped up, and he is down at the 1 yard line. The Brockport defense holds. 4 shots from the 1, and Alfred is turned away 4 times. So this Brockport defense.
Literally the first guy on the field after that stop Harry.
Absolutely.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Harry got bailed out on that one. So now, now a different challenge for this Brockport offense, because now you're at the 1. You're really at the, like the half-yard line is where you're at. The ball's not even touching the 1-yard line, the nose of the ball. So they're backed up as about as far as you can get backed up.
Do they have a tush push in Brockport?
If they have one, now's the time to call it. We'll see. They do bring in Xavier Smith. He's a big, he's 270, so he's a good lead blocker. They may just run Simmons and Smith and just. Oh, that's going to be a offsides. Free play here. Isaiah Simmons up the middle. Isaiah Simmons across the 30. Across midfield, Isaiah Simmons. He's going to take it 99 yards, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Brockport.
The longest play.
Are you kidding me? Isaiah Simmons. And the flag means nothing. It's an offsides penalty. Isaiah Simmons with his third of the day.
Putting him at 243 for the day.
Electric from Isaiah Simmons. So when you talk about the segment that we just saw, that game segment, right? You get the fumbled punt from Harry. Sets up Alfred at the 1. The defense goes 4 times from the 1, and they stonewall him. And Isaiah Simmons says, I'll take it from here. 99 yards, not touched once.
Trying to sell out against the run and trying to do something.
Trying to get a safety. Trying to turn something into nothing.
And we talked about that earlier. Once you try to overextend yourself, what happens? He breaks that first line of contain, cuts back on the middle linebacker. He is gone.
Question from Cedric Campbell in the comments, is that a school record for longest run? I don't know that you can have a longer one than 99.5 yards, so I got to think that's, if not the longest, it's tied for the longest touchdown run in Brockport history. Isaiah Simmons is putting on a show today, and he's going to climb the rankings for Division III rushing yards. He was already 10th in the country coming into today, and I got to think 243 in the third quarter moves him up that list, and you got to wonder with, again, points mattering. Simmons going to get to 300 today? He's efficient enough already.
I mean, that would be fun to watch. We'll try to look at the record for most rushing yards in a game. I mean, you think it's Jale Code, you think it's someone before that, but I mean, we're looking at history here, if not.
So Brockport 37-0 here, and again, fireworks coming from this team here.
Has there ever been a player that's won Empire 8 Offensive Player of the Week before the fourth quarter of their own game? I'm not sure.
We just call it now. So the most we'll see. Most rushing yards in a game, that was 429, so we're not going to get there. That was back in 2008. Longest run from scrimmage before today was 95 yards from scrimmage, so that's going to break that record. And again, you can't run it longer than 99.5 yards, so that is a record
he was either going to tie or break.
Isaiah Simmons will forever hold in Brockport record books, 99 yards to the house. And the pace he's keeping right now, Isaiah Simmons might push for the record for most rushing yards in a game average. He came into today averaging about 147. 151 yards per game is the record for Brockport for a season. That was Dan Lynch.
Well, he got a few extra ones there to spread out over the previous game, so that's going to be pretty amazing to watch. But we see some amazing running back performances on this field, Ryan, Bob Boozer Field. So
we watched Jale Code have 53 carries in a game. I remember that game fondly. It was a playoff game.
And we saw him after the game. He still wasn't tired.
Yeah. He was ready to carry it probably 50 more if he needed to. 8:44 left here. Alfred's going to take over after that wild stretch of football we just watched. All cumulatively, that entire stretch of football took about 2.5 minutes off the clock. Kelly's going to throw to this man on the outside, just a little swing pass, and he's going to get ridden out of bounds at by number 33 on the tackle there.
Swinging it out there to Carmine Hogue, who had a 7-yard reception in the first half, and he just got a 3-yard reception now, leading Alfred in receptions and yards and touchdowns. So it looks like they're going to have, once again, a tight formation with Hogue out the top of your screen, matched up on Sluka.
Clock's running, 8:08 here. Kelly takes the snap, quick pitch to Nyquist, and Nyquist gets chopped down. That's number 33, Neely
like
again.
Torpedo.
Neely. Third down. Oh, that's going to be enough for a first down. That's their second first down of the game here for Alfred. So Alfred at the 35-yard line, 1st and 10. Trying to respond after the touchdown. Kelly fakes the handoff, pumps, looks to throw, across the middle, incomplete. Intended for number 84 that time, Carmine Hogue.
I mean, it seems like in spurts, because of that offensive line, Kelly's been making it to his second read on a few of these plays here. Obviously not successfully, but he's been making it to his second read, which not a lot of quarterbacks can say coming in here.
2nd and 10 here coming up for Alfred.
Oh, we're got a corner blitz. Davis coming off the corner here.
There's the handoff to Nyquist up the middle, and he pushes himself forward, and he gets a yard on that one. So still tough sledding here for Tommy Nyquist, the sophomore out of Warren, Pennsylvania.
So we got 3rd and 9 for Alfred here, 37-0. Just under 7 minutes left in the third quarter. Once again, bottom of your screen, you got Hogue against Sluka with Thorpe playing over the top. You got 3 safeties in the game.
Kelly again tries to throw a screen pass to the outside, and nothing doing there. He's going to get 5 on the play.
Not a bad call, but they're going to come out and punt with 4th and 4, roughly.
Brings up 4th down here.
Okay. By the time this punt gets off, it'll be under 6 minutes left in the third quarter. Brian, you pretty much game in hand, know what's going on. Are you continuing to put your starters in?
Ooh, what a block! A blocked punt! And that one's picked up, and that's going to be another Brockport touchdown. What a play there. Number 10, Kyle Sluka. So Sluka, they finally get to him. They've been trying all game. They've gotten close a couple times, actually drew a running into the kicker penalty earlier. And Sluka just comes right off the edge, and the up back missed him. The up back just whiffed on him.
He gave him a hand. That was it.
Number 10, Kyle Sluka with the touchdown.
And McGowan on to add the extra point here. Kick is up, kick is good, and it's 44-0 Brockport.
44-0 for Brockport.
Our second half sponsor today, we'll finally get a chance to take a breath and give them a shout out, Bill Gray's Restaurants. Enjoy a Bill Gray's Great Plate every Tuesday and Sunday at Bill Gray's. Get 2 Bill Gray's cheeseburgers on top of home fries and mac salad, loaded with your choice of toppings, including Bill Gray's famous meat hot sauce for only $9.99. Gimme, gimme, gimme Bill Gray's. We joke about it every week, Mario, but it comes truer and truer as time goes on. Bill Gray is still doing a $9.99 plate in this economy. Testament to Bill Gray's, and it's a good plate too. It's enough probably to a couple days worth of food if you want.
Couple days for who?
Well, not for me, but. Brockport set to kick this one away. They are all of a sudden all over Alfred. McGowan kicks this one, and this one's going to nope, this one's not going to get returned. It bounces right at the goal line and into the end zone.
Kick goes out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. It'll be 1st and 10, Alfred from the 25.
Alfred's going to take over at their own 25-yard line. (44-0) here. So after, I say only, but after 23 points in the first half, Brockport has exploded for 21 points in this third quarter so far. It was a Isaiah Simmons touchdown run from 14 yards out, and then a 99-yard scamper by Simmons, and finally a blocked punt and return by Kyle Sluka are the touchdowns here. That pass incomplete, intended for Carmine Hogue, and Sluka in coverage. 2nd and 10 here coming up for Alfred.
Well, I can tell you now, the Sluka household during Thanksgiving is going to be kind of fun because Nolan has played 2 games against Alfred, hasn't scored a touchdown. So.
Nolan, of course, wide receiver from Brockport last year, transferred to Stony Brook this year. So he went D1. Congrats on him. Snap, fake the handoff. They're going to throw deep again, and back shoulder throw. Nice adjustment made there by Bucksbaum. And Bucksbaum snares it. It's enough for a first down.
You don't see too many back shoulders in college.
Yeah, 20-yard gain on the play.
I mean, I got to give Kelly a lot of credit. After taking that shot in the first half, you know, he's a pretty tough kid. He's in there. He's standing in that pocket, staring down that rush.
Five minutes left here in the third quarter. 1st and 10 here for Alfred. Kelly takes the snap, fakes the handoff. He's going to throw again to the outside, way over the head of Hogue. Grooms in coverage. I'm sorry, it was actually Sluka in coverage. .452 at their own 45. Alfred trying to get some positive momentum here going into the last couple games of the season. Hand off to Nyquist, and Nyquist is going to have a nice gain, his best gain of the day. It's going to be a 9-yard run for him. Brockport, I think, thrown off a little bit off that right side. They thought the right tackle jumped, but no flag, no foul. 3rd and 2, and so far, Alfred is 0 for on 3rd down. They're going to try and break that here. They're 0 for 8 on 3rd down so far today. Takes the snap, looks to throw, and he's got a man, and he's dropped. Throws it into double coverage. Good coverage there. But that one was just dropped. That was intended for Muchika. Golnitz in coverage, knocks that one away, and they're going for it here. 4th and 2. 4:17 left on the clock.
Yeah,
not even a thought there. For
at this point, you don't really have a choice. Yeah, I mean, there's no guarantee that if you punt it, it's going to be safe.
Hand it to Nyquist, and we'll see where the spot is. The near side judge has him short. Far side judge, which closest to the play, says yes. So Fourth down conversion there for Alfred.
Just enough for a first down. For the first down, Alfred from the 45-yard line.
Heck of a push, and Brockport is not happy about that.
They don't like that spot at all. 3:45 left here. Takes a snap, quick pitch over to Nyquist, and Nyquist is ushered out of bounds after they're going to give him 3 on that one.
Nyquist for the carry. Short gain before he's pushed out of bounds. Second down. Number 10 of Brockport has to play for 1 game for helmet off.
So
Sluka
comes off, lost his helmet, so he's got to come off for a play before he can come back on.
Jonathan Otto, sophomore out of the Bronx, comes in to replace him.
Second and 8 here. Kelly takes the snap. He's going to hand it to Nyquist up the middle, and he's going to get a yard before he's pushed backwards. Brings up 3rd and 7 here. Coming up for Alfred. Again, 0 for 9 rather, on 3rd down. So
Third down and 7.
Brockport very, very stingy on 3rd down throughout the course of the season. First in Empire 8. They came into today only 29% allowed. So teams came into today 29 for 99, and now they're 29 for 108. And I say that knowing my math teacher to my left might figure that out in his head, but
I'm sorry,
233. Here's the pass to the outside, and we might get a flag here. Yeah, there's a flag there. Grooms in coverage. He was all over Bucksbaum.
I mean, obviously we're going to get a pass interference here on Grooms, as you stated, with 2:28 left. But, Ryan, everything aside, score aside, all of a sudden, nice little drive by Alfred.
Yeah, not too bad. They're finally finding a little bit of a rhythm here offensively.
You got a little bit of rhythm. You got a couple, penalty calls. You got a favored 4th down call. I mean, all those little things end up giving you confidence as you move ahead.
Also, automatic first down.
Okay. So 2:28 here left. I didn't know pass interference was a spot foul in college. I always thought it was just a 15-yard penalty, but maybe because it was less than 15 yards, it's a spot foul, but
perhaps.
I digress. 2:28 left here as Alfred takes over or converts on 3rd down via penalty, so that won't count against the average for the 3rd down conversion rate.
Mm-hmm.
Incomplete pass there. They tried to set up a little swing pass.
You think Grooms had that in mind?
Second down.
If they get it for a penalty?
Brings up 2nd and 10 here for Alfred.
I mean, the play calling and the execution has been something that Alfred's been looking for all day. Obviously, crossing the 30 now, you start to get into Fox territory. You don't want to. Here comes, as we just talk about it, you're going to see Davis coming off the bottom of your screen off the edge.
Ooh, nice read there. Almost intercepted, but nice pass break up there. That was Neely who comes in. So Cortland's in at halftime. It's Cortland, Alfred State. Cortland leading 21-0. So Alfred State making that a bit of a ball game there on their home turf. And we check the other score, and Utica all over St. John Fisher at the start of the 3rd quarter, 24-7. So that's going to set up what could be a really interesting matchup in 2 weeks here between Alfred and Brockport, if Brockport's able to take care of business next week against Cortland. He takes the snap, looks to throw. He's going to throw deep and out of bounds. Nice catch, but too far out of bounds there.
Mm-hmm. Not a bad toss either. He put it really
nice
in the only
throw.
spot he could.
So that's going to bring up 4th and 10. And wholesale changes here.
Dominic Bronco coming in, 5'6" junior.
They're going to try to kick this one here. This is going to be a 45-yard kick. Wind in his face. Bronco from the left hash mark. Alfred just trying to get on the board here.
There's no way they kick this, right? They're going to fake it?
Bronco's career long is a 43-yarder, And he doesn't even have the leg, let alone on target. So that's no good there. Brockport's going to take over at their own 35-yard line. So you give your kicker a shot at a career long. And into the wind, I think that was a tough spot for our coach to put a player in. It's career long's 43.
If he's kicking the other way here,
if the wind's at his back, you give it to him, I think. But that was
it landed about 5 yards short.
Not to criticize any coaching, but that seemed of a desperation move to try to get points on the board if you're Alfred. So 1st and 10 for Brockport. They take over. We do have new players here. Jackson checks in at quarterback. And then the new running back is number 36 for Brockport. Takes the handoff, and he's going to lower his shoulder, and he's going to get a good gain here. Pyle continues to push. The running back we have not seen yet this season. That was number 36, Mason Ennis, who took the carry, the sophomore from Sandy Creek. He's going to quickly become Mario's favorite if he starts getting carries. 6'2" running back. This one's going to be a flag, so 2nd and 1 here after the 9-yard run by Ennis, and we're going to get a flag.
You got something against tall running backs?
Offside number 73 for Brockport, who jumps off.
Like he didn't have Eddie George on his fantasy team for like 6 years. So obviously we got, as you said, Landon Hammond into the game. 5'10" sophomore on the outside, as well as Stevens.
Micah Harry checks in at the running back position. Zamir Jackson in at quarterback. They're going to get the calls from the sideline.
So Harry being the natural backup to Simmons, was that a message for the punt?
Maybe for dropping the punt, sure. Yeah. Jackson takes the snap. He's going to hand it to Harry off the left side. Harry's brought down after 2-yard gain on the play. That's going to bring up 3rd and 4 here coming up for Brockport.
Yep, you put the sophomore running back in front of you. I mean, it's interesting because it's those little things, those little reminders that you don't have to say anything else about it. You know, you understand each other. Yeah, I'm not going to put you in to start after Simmons. What?
Yeah.
Maybe you'll learn.
He probably doesn't even tell him. Probably just calls Ennis, and Harry thinks it's going to be him. Nice cut back there, and Harry out across the 40.
And if there's anything that's going to light a fire underneath the backup running back, that's what's going to do it.
Well, and then, you're feeling pretty good because you fumbled the punt. Your defense held you up, Yeah. Your stud in front of you goes 99 yards. And then you're like, all right, well, I guess it's time for me to, contribute here offensively. And Harry already with a couple good carries so far. And they're going to run this on down to the end of the third quarter. Yeah. We're going to give our second half sponsor another shout out here, Bill Gray's. Bill Gray's is home of Rochester's greatest cheeseburger. Also has Rochester's best longline haddock Icelandic fish fry and sandwiches cooked to perfection and served with fries and coleslaw. Available every day of the week. Get one today. Gimme, gimme, gimme Bill Gray's. And our title sponsor, Bob Johnson Auto Group. Bob Johnson carries 18 different auto manufacturers ranging from Chevy to Ford to Toyota and many more in 25 locations throughout New York State. Choose from thousands of vehicles in stock. Check them out online at bobjohnsonautogroup.com to find a location near you. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back on the other side for the fourth quarter.
The world's greatest cheeseburger offers Bill Gray's Great Plates, topped any way you want them for $9.99 every Tuesday and now Sunday. $9.99 Great Plates, Tuesdays and Sundays.
Gimme, gimme, gimme Bill Gray's.
Honey, who's got the best deal on
Bob Johnson?
flower pots? The best deal on flower pots.
Bob Johnson doesn't have deals on flower pots, but we have the very best deals on new cars, trucks, and SUVs. Best inventory, best service.
All right, we're back here as it's 1st and 10. Brockport, they're going to get Harry off to the left side again. He jump cuts back to the middle of the field. It's going to be a 6-yard carry there by Micah Harry. So a nice show so far from the sophomore.
Also checking in the game, number 47, junior fullback Richard Fleischman.
Sorry, Harry's a junior from Lancaster. No surprise there that Coach Mangoni recruits a lot of kids from Lancaster. He went there himself, was quite the player out there. Zamir Jackson, the quarterback, new face. Harry, another carry off the left side, lowers his shoulder. He's going to get right at the sticks, and they're going to call it. So first down there for Harry. Needed 4, got 4 and a nose.
With a gain of 4. First down, Brockport.
Coach Mangoni talks about this all the time, Mario. You know, we've mentioned here that, you know, this is playoff atmosphere, right? You got to win every week now after your loss to Fisher. You got a big game coming up next week against Cortland. You'll have another big game the following week against Utica if everything holds here. Utica beating St. John Fisher at halftime. And then potentially the playoffs. So Coach Mangoni talks about this all the time. He likes to get these guys carries, touches, snaps in these moments, right? So that if something happens in a big moment, they're not having to then get big game experience in real time, right?
Yeah, obviously, I mean, there's a reason why a lot of employers want to hire experience over education.
Sure.
And sort of this. You can know everything that you're doing, but until you put it into practice on the field, we talk about that time on task. So it's going to be interesting to see. And they have had enough of these types of games this year where they were competitive early, and then a lot of these other kids get to play.
Harry been the workhorse so far this second drive. Sends the man in motion, does Jackson. We're going to get a not even close. That's not even a it's not even a false or an offsides. That's an encroachment situation that time. So,
and just really quick, checking into the game at fullback, John Matthew, junior out of Hopewell Junction. Rotates a lot of guys in that position, that H-back position.
Clock stopped, 12:55 here left in this one. Brockport leading 44-0. Been a relatively quick game so far today, too. Not a lot of penalties.
So the inside handoff with the trap play.
Jackson takes it, going to give it to Harry, right side, cuts it back to the middle of the field, drags a defender with him across the 35, down to the 34. It's going to be a 5-yard carry.
Question, we've given the perspective multiple times about Brockport, been in a lot of games like this and stuff like that. You ever been in Alfred's shoes on that? Because, I mean, as a college player, I have before. What's going through your mind if you're Alfred right now?
I think you're just trying to have positive plays, as many as you can at this point, right? You're not looking, it's not a comeback situation, but let's put good plays on film, show that we can improve and play well with adversity. Harry with another carry off the left side and patient running. He's going to get 4. We'll give him 3 on that one.
What I was saying was when we had a couple plays ago, that offsides, you lose some of your focus.
Sure.
I mean, if your coaches don't have your head on right and this, that, like you just said, have some positive plays. If your coaches and the sideline aren't echoing that, you're down 44-0. You're sitting there going, why would I dive to make this tackle? You know what I mean? Stuff like that. So, but if you just try to win every play, you can still make the end of the game a little bit more competitive.
And you're getting probably, some of these guys are getting more snaps than they're used to seeing, so they're trying to make a play, right, to earn more playing time down the line.
Absolutely.
And as you're coming to the end of the season, trying to earn, a spot next year, playing time next year. Harry with a nice run, lowers his shoulder, runs right over Atlas. That was 26 on the carry, actually, for Brockport. Oh, no.
That was Ennis once again.
Ennis again, so 36.
Go ahead. Say something about a 6'2" running back.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Ennis.
I mean, provides a different dynamic, obviously,
yeah, absolutely.
than Simmons.
10:45 here left. First down, Brockport. Nice methodical drive by this second unit. Jackson takes the snap, gives it to Ennis. Ennis, again, bounces off of a defender. Big, strong runner is Ennis.
Well, in the limited carries that we've seen of him, right, because this is our first time seeing him as well, he doesn't run straight up and down. A lot of those tall running backs have a tendency to, they get really upright, and that's where you take all those shots. He's actually keeping his shoulder pad low.
He reminds me of, you'll remember, Gino Fontana Rosa.
Oh, yeah,
He reminds me of that type of runner. just a big, powerful runner.
Oh, yeah. Fontana Rosa was more phonetic, though, in his running.
Yeah. Brockport, good player for Brockport. Career cut short due to some injuries. Ennis, another carry, drags a defender with him.
And the thing about those 6'2" running backs, or the taller running backs, I won't just say 6'2" specifically, the taller running backs is that when they're striding, you don't think they're running far or fast, but they're gaining ground because of their stride.
Clock continues to run here. Brockport 44-0, and we've seen it's been the second unit ever since the Isaiah Simmons 99-yard touchdown run, school record by Simmons. 2:43 and 3 on the day, his day being done. Goes in motion. Jackson pulls it this time, and Zamir Jackson, that one's easy for him. He's been setting that up since he got in the game. He's going to score from 17 yards out. You saw that the whole way. The entire defense flowed to his left, or flowed to the left side or right side of the formation, and Jackson just pulled it. But Mario, when you watch that replay, they sent a man in motion. It was man-to-man, so the player went with him, just cleared out that whole left side, and Jackson's not even full speed down the sideline. So Zamir Jackson makes it 50-0. We're looking to add the extra point here, and it is all Brockport.
It's weird. Unless you have a breakaway at some point in the game, it's hard to know when you're on the 20 and you're like, I'm going to score.
Yeah.
I'm gonna score.
Especially at like the mesh point,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
When you look at it and you go, I'm scoring before you even like have to decide to hand it off to the running back
Unless
or not.
I trip, this is 6.
Yeah. 51-0 here as McGowan adds the extra point. Brockport hanging one on Alfred. Now remember, they're actually under their per game average over the last 2. They came in over the last 2 averaging 54 points a game. They're at 51 right now, and after their second loss of the season in overtime to St. John Fisher, Brockport offense and defense has absolutely found its stride. They're up to 160-17 over their last 3 football games. 9:09 here left in this fourth quarter.
It's sad to see a team fall apart like that, Ryan. I mean, they're not doing their average over the last 2 games. Their starting quarterback gets pulled. That's some bad things going on in Brockport. But interestingly enough, does that give you any kind of concern? I mean, obviously your confidence is going to be sky high going into Cortland next week. But does that give you some concern with having so many blowouts in a row of these teams? Because these aren't the games you have against Cortland.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, I mean, I think from from blowout perspectives, the things that you tend to look at is less so from like a team performance and more from like a side of the ball performance, right? Defensively, we've been locked down, right? We can stop anybody in the country the way we're playing right now. And then offensively, we can score with anybody in the country right now because these are the types of scoring outputs that really good football teams put on tape, right? Really good football teams beat bad football teams by 50 points.
Yep.
And that's what you're out here doing. So, if you were winning these football games where they weren't close, but it was 34, 35 points per game, you're kind of going, okay, well, this is a bad football team. We really should be beating them by more. We talk about these when we cover the Bills on the right. Good teams beat bad teams by a lot of points.
Yes.
So that's kind of what you're looking to do in these types of blowout situations.
Gotcha.
Because again, I mean, I don't think Cortland's feeling any kind of way about beating Alfred 65-12, right? I mean, they're not reading into it too much. It's just that we're supposed to beat a team like this by 4 touchdowns.
I mean, if we want to realistically look at it, you and I have been around long enough that this Brockport team has learned more from losing to RPI and Fisher than these blowouts the last 3 weeks.
Absolutely. There's the run to the right side. Number 25 on the carry there. We also got a new quarterback checking into the game. Number 9 checks in, Caleb Eastman.
So Ashton Werner, that was freshman running back out of Windsor.
So Eastman, a sophomore out of Colony, New York, 5'11", 185. Back to a righty. We've seen the lefty Chris Kelly all game so far today. They're going to hand it off again, lowers their shoulder. It's going to pick up 2 on that one, 3. So it's going to bring up 3rd and 2 on this one. So Werner, Ashton Werner on the carry on that one.
Bring up third down.
Nyquist checks back into the football game. 7:50 left on the clock here. They're going to hand it to Nyquist, and he's going to spin off of a defender, pick up the first down. And that's the first, yeah.
Yep, first third down. Converted by Alfred State today with 7:35 left. Not by penalty.
$7:25 here left, and Alfred getting ready to knock on the door of Brockport territory. They've been in Brockport territory twice today. Once was the fumbled punt that got picked up by Alfred at the 1. Brockport proceeded to stonewall him 3 plays in a row. Nice pass breakup there, number 24 in coverage for Brockport. Good breakup there. That was Destin Branch L, junior defensive back from Queens. Big corner, 6'3" is Branch L. 7:05 left on the clock, 2nd and 10. Hand off to Nyquist. He's wrapped up and dropped right away. No gain on the play there.
Brings up third down once again.
Brings up 3rd and 10. Third and 9 here coming up for Alfred. 6:40 left on the clock. Caleb Eastman still in at quarterback. Pistol formation with Nyquist. Now Nyquist moves to his right. Brockport showing some pressures. Fumbled snap. Eastman just picks it up and tries to run it, and he's eventually brought down. Number 4 with the tackle there. That's Jameer Clark. And that brings up 4th down, and they're going to punt. Eastman can't do anything with the fumbled punt or with the fumbled snap. And timeout by Brockport here. And another opportunity to give our second half sponsor a shout out here, Bill Gray's. Enjoy a Bill Gray's great plate every Tuesday and Sunday at Bill Gray's. Get 2 Bill Gray's cheeseburgers on top of home fries and mac salad, loaded with your choice of toppings, including Bill Gray's famous meat hot sauce for only $9.99. Gimme, gimme, gimme Bill Gray's. So Brockport's going to get the ball back here. 5:56 left. They're going to look to salt this one away, up 51-0. Check in across the Empire 8. Again, Cortland still 21-0 over Alfred State early in the 3rd quarter. Utica still up over St. John Fisher, 24-7 early in the 3rd quarter. Both of those 3rd quarters, second halves are just getting underway, under only 13 minutes left in those quarters. So just probably first possession.
Harry's now back once again for a little bit of retribution.
So Harry back to punt here. This one's a high punt.
So
best punt of the day so far, it looks like. And that one's going to bounce and down at the 2-yard line is where they're going to mark this one. So good job there.
Call up Simmons.
Yeah.
He's got another one to do. No, it's 5:54.
That's the best punt by McGovern by far today.
Oh,
nice
absolutely.
high kick,
No
bounced
question.
and fielded at the 2-yard line. 51-0 Brockport here. 5:44 left. We're going to get another look at Jameer Clark.
And they've been setting up that RPO all day. Obviously, that led to the score.
It's kind of the
They're going to be very
rocking to
conscious of
sleep,
it.
right?
Yeah. So I mean, now that's fresh in your mind.
Yep.
If you're Alfred.
It's actually going to be Chris McGuire that checks in at quarterback position. So a new look at McGuire, senior quarterback. And he's going to hand it to That's number 36 again for Brockport. That's Mason Ennist.
And another first down for Brockport.
Ennis from Sandy Creek, sophomore.
Well, that's like a way to get out of trouble back there when you're backed up. So
First, enough for a first down.
I mean, not that they're going to for the rest of the game, but McGuire does have a cannon.
Hand it to Ennis again. Big hole off the left side, and he's hit and knocked down at the 20-yard line. So 7-yard gain on the play.
I mean, that's what I'm saying, though. He had an inside handoff, hit the hole, and he took 3 steps. And then 7 yards later, he's tackled. So.
.430 left in the fourth quarter here. 51-0 Brockport. McGuire's going to fake it to Ennis. He's going to keep it himself, and he's knocked down after no gain on the play. Brings up third down here.
So, Ryan, with just over 4 minutes left in this game, try to summarize the playoff picture with the Empire 8. We talked about Cortland wins out, they win.
Yep.
They go. If Brockport wins out, they're going.
Yeah, so after what happened, after what's happening today, assuming the Utica score holds and Utica beats St. John Fisher, a Brockport win against Cortland and then a win against Utica, and Brockport wins the Empire 8.
Yeah. Utica
win
has
against,
no shot.
Utica has no shot to win the Empire 8, assuming the scores hold, right?
Yeah.
Or if Alfred State somehow comes back and beats Cortland, then we kind of get into that tiebreaker scenario. Yeah. But what it comes down to is if Brockport beats Cortland next week, that means that the Utica-Brockport game is for the Empire 8 title. Mm-hmm. And the way that outcome plays out is if Brockport wins the Empire 8. If Utica wins, Cortland would then win the Empire 8 based off of a better E8 record than Brockport.
That's the thing that I wanted to explain to everybody. So if Brockport beats Cortland, Utica has no chance of winning the entire thing. Only Cortland and Brockport do at this point.
McGuire keeps this one and dances across the 30, 5-yard gain on the play. 2:55 here left.
McGuire with the carry. About 5 on the carry. Second down.
Second and 5 coming up here from McGuire. Ennis in the backfield with him. McGuire takes it. He's going to hand it to Ennis, who bounces back across the 30 and buries his head. He's going to get 2 on that one. Going to bring up 3rd and 3 here for Brockport. Brockport just looking to kind of run this one down here, barring a big run.
Yeah,
this one's going to end 51 to nothing, which is.
I understand it. Don't they intentionally walk batters now?
Yeah. Can't we just call it?
No,
the 2-minute timeout.
Are you done?
Yeah.
Can we be done? Can we shake on it? We're done. But it's only going to be 2 plays, a couple kneel downs, and game over. So exciting action coming up in Empire 8 with Brockport traveling to Cortland next week, and then the final home game that they're going to have on the 15th is going to be here versus Utica.
For the Empire 8 title, by all accounts.
If they win versus Cortland, by all accounts, if they win. So very, very exciting times for Brockport after 2 very heartbreaking overtime losses that they had earlier in the year. But, could have been, if you think about it, people don't like to use this at all, character building for the kid. Because after that second loss, 160 points later, only giving up 17 points in those 3 games as well.
So Cortland now up 28-0 over Alfred State, and Utica just got on the board again, 31-7 over St. John Fisher. Both those games about halfway through the 3rd quarter. So, again, these scores hold, we assume. Then you're looking at a matchup next week between Brockport's going to head to Cortland next week. That'll be the biggest game of the year in the Empire 8 by far. Mm-hmm. And then Cortland after that is done in the Empire 8. So what happens after next week for Cortland, win or loss? They have no control over anything in the Empire 8 after that because they got the Cortica Jug game the last week of the season against Ithaca, as they always do. It will
And
come
I believe
down to
Cortland-
Brockport and Utica here on Senior Day on the 15th for the Empire 8 title. Brockport wins, and it's them. Brockport loses, and it's Cortland. So Cortland maybe an opportunity to celebrate a conference title, they call it backing in, right? Backing into a conference title. But
Oh, yeah. Utica only has a chance to play spoiler to Brockport if they were to beat Cortland. That's the real deal.
Clock continues to run. We're going to get a 4th and 1 here. Brockport's going to kind of run it down as far as they can and then probably kick it away. One would think. They'll bring on Connor Parker.
Not a very busy man today.
Parker only his 2nd punt of the day. His first punt came in the first quarter, so he's been keeping himself busy on the sideline until then.
He's been playing brain rock games on the sideline since the first quarter. But
And
yeah,
if
a lot of things got simplified today because coming into today, as we talked about, Ryan, 3 teams were 3-1 in the Empire 8, and we literally had to look up how many of the scenarios.
We had to look up.
We were 4 deep in the tiebreakers.
Because there was a very real possibility that you could have wound up with 3 teams at the top of the Empire 8, all with 1 conference loss, and they all beat each other.
Yeah.
So, it could get very messy. Reminder, too, if you're in the Brockport area, if you haven't gotten out to the game or if you're at the game listening to us, we appreciate that. But there's some NCAA the Empire 8 Conference playoff games going on right now behind us here on the soccer field. The men's soccer team playing right now, the women's soccer team right after. The women's soccer team undefeated in Empire 8 play this year.
I believe they're ranked as well, correct?
Ranked in the country. So if you're in the area and you're looking for something to do here on what's a chilly but not bad day, the rain, no more rain after yesterday. So, but it is chilly out. So bundle up, but come back. We've got some noise going on behind us. So it sounds like somebody just might have scored again. Brockport up the men's soccer team in that one. 58 seconds left here. Takes the snap. He's going to fake the handoff and keep it himself. Eastman gets hit and knocked down. He's going to pick up 8 on the play, though, so positive play there for Eastman.
So essentially one more play between the bus.
We'll get one more play unless they go hurry up.
About 8-second difference between the play clock and the game clock.
Clock continues to run here. Eastman in the shotgun formation. Going to take the snap, hand it off, and that'll do it as Brockport wins 51-0. Clock runs out, and that'll be the 6th win of the season for Brockport. They move to 6-2 on the season, 4-1 in Empire 8 play, setting up a big match next week against Cortland. Again, Brockport's on the road next week against Cortland. 2 weeks from now, they are home again for what hopefully will be a game for the Empire 8 title. But they got to take care of business next week before that can happen, and Brockport is fired up right now down on the sideline. They pitch a shutout. The defense loves it. Coach Fox down on the field leading things there. That'll do it for today from the Rock Sports Network broadcast team. I'm Ryan Laso. Joining me, as always, Mario Granada, our guys behind the scenes running things here. We will be back in 2 weeks to cover Brockport and Utica. Whether Brockport wins next week or not, we will be here to cover that game, so make sure you tune in 2 weeks. The Brockport Golden Eagles take care of the Alfred University Saxons 51-0. Have a good day.
See you next week.